that either works for Clubhouse is either doing it intentionally. If that's the case, like they're just gonna get sick of it. They're like, every day you're bothering me with this shit. Like, get a fucking life. Or, you know, I mean, if somebody's, it should be pretty easy to prove if you guys are just like abusing like mass recording or something.
I'll bet anybody $10 right now that he gets clipped live. Because last time,
you know, even doing this to me, see, I'm somebody who stopped making rooms and I just went into other people's rooms. That's the funny part. Everybody knows, like, white America is something I kind of gave up on like 2 years ago. And, you know, I was going in other people's rooms. And, you know, like the white people in particular on this app, like Roger's house was kind of like a hangout. And people would go in there just because, you know, that's where everybody is. But, you know, I wasn't trying to be like Mr. Content Creator or like have like these big space. For a white person on this app, I had one of the, you know, bigger rooms, especially like season 2, 3, and I guess 2 and 3 and 4. I don't know. But so fucking what? Like, this is a dying app. You're not going to get clout off of it. Everybody already knows who I am. Like, why the fuck do I need to make a room? But then there's some of you losers who are still trying, which is pathetic, still clout chasing. Which is fucking weird. Like, you're not making a name for yourself on this fucking app, bro. You're not doing it. Everybody that actually could entertain people, a lot of them went to other platforms. Some are doing well. Some people, they didn't make it. But I can tell you, you can get somebody like, even like, what the fuck is his name? Teddy Roosevelt. Like, that motherfucker could get on mic, have 300, 400, 500, 600 people in his fucking room, and he could be one doing 95% of the fucking talking and entertain people. Now, somehow, some of you stupid motherfuckers think that, oh yeah, if I could be a really good moderator, you know, I'll be a fucking great content creator. No, you won't, bitch. You know, do you think that you can be like Nick Fuentes? Or even though I don't really care for them, like Fresh and Fit, that you can be somebody who can run your fucking mouth for hours and keep a fucking audience. You know, on social media, they have metrics for this. It's not just how many people clicked on your fucking video. How long did they actually watch your fucking video? Do they make it all the way through your fucking video? When it comes to being a quote-unquote content creator, okay, you need to be able to have not only wide-level appeal, but you have to be able to do the fucking entertaining yourself. You stupid fuckers are not content creators. I would have never called myself a content creator. But what I do think is funny is that I can do the shit you wish you could do a lot fucking better than you. And I by no means, I think somebody that's necessarily would be good at being a real content creator that talks. Like social audio, what would that be equivalent to? Like a fucking podcast? Or a show on YouTube? But you have losers on here that are vying for clout to be the top dog on a dying social audio app. If everybody on Clubhouse knew your name as it is today, you're still a nobody. Absolute fucking nobody. I mean, maybe in season 1, if everybody knew your fucking name, but you're competing with celebrities, people that were doing radio shows, you know, in the past, people that actually worked in fucking entertainment, people that already had a social media presence. You weren't gonna compete with those motherfuckers. Like, you guys are fucking losers. A bunch of fucking wannabes. You stupid motherfuckers. You think you have something intelligent to say. Well, let's talk about this issue. Let's talk about... You know what? If I'm going to listen to a fucking... I don't know, somebody talk about a lot of the issues you guys like to talk about, I generally will listen to fucking experts. I, Pepe, am an expert at nothing. I'll talk shit and give opinions, and I'll debate certain things, but I'm not a fucking expert at anything. And if I really want to get a solid understanding or see two sides of the story. I like to watch two experts, have a fucking debate. I don't want to see, Johnny Jerkoff on this fucking app give his fucking uneducated opinion about shit. That's what a lot of you dumb fucks do. You guys are fucking pathetic.
I saw what you wrote, Marshall, earlier.
And you are nothing more than a fucking moderator. You're not a content creator. How do you? And you don't even. And some of you don't even know how to facilitate fucking
I'd be willing to bet that his account gets clipped
You
live.
know what moderators do? They sit down. They shut the fuck up. They interfere minimally. Okay, that is what you do. In order to call yourself like a good moderator, you shut your fucking mouth. You don't say hi to people.
This is called the projection show. We just document the number of projections. That's projection number 2.
And let the conversation happen. I'm giving you guys free pointers here. Now, if you want to do what I did, what I was known for, I had like fucking controversial opinions. People like to be insulted, and sometimes there's people on your side. They're like, "Yay, somebody's saying it out loud." Okay, and then what would I do? My whole formula, at least for a social audio room, was I let the other side, especially like if they are like fucking hate people like me, and I let them talk their shit. They can say the most horrendous shit about white people, about whoever. Now I have two sides. Now you're seeing like two sides go at it. It is like a nasty fucking brawl. And then people are like, holy shit. That's wild. That's all it was. I basically didn't gatekeep my fucking rooms. I didn't make them an echo chamber. Nobody wants a fucking echo chamber. But that was my little formula.
Jerry Springer are you gonna do, Pepe?
Well, I don't even do that shit
more
anymore.
Seasons is enough season.
Well, that's what, and I got tired of it, a couple of years ago. But it's just like I'm not somebody who like had a dick
what did
ride.
you do with all this? Like, honestly, I believe you could have, like, whatever you just said, that's fresh and fit, whatever, fresh and fit, whatever. If a Sudani guy can make it happen, you can make it happen. I don't see why you can't be like a lazy, white ghetto version of like Fuentes. I don't see why not.
Well, I would say the reality is that people that would talk about like the racial stuff like I did online, and there's already like people that are widely regarded or as being, they're so highly looked up to that you're not going to really dethrone them. And it's kind of like people kind of just get their information from them anyways. You have like A, B, C, D list tiers of these people that already do that kind of content. And to be quite honest, why did I never try to like make money doing it or anything like that? When I was doing it, Biden was still in office. People were getting deplatformed left and right. My rooms were not advertiser friendly. I could have never done my rooms on a YouTube or
So
any
this always
platforms
comes
I
back
did.
to like a Pepe reputation
I use my
management role.
account.
His brand management.
So, I was just like, well,
talking about how he could have monetized.
I would create spaces that where like people fought, they would say horrible shit to each other, shit that would violate
Is this
YouTube
like a guy
policies.
pretending to
That
be a
was kind of the
podcast
allure. It's a
star
car
who had it all
crash.
taken away, who never had anything?
Being
Is this
a
the
model.
definition of
I'm just saying,
insanity? Clubhouse
what
insanity.
you're-
Total waste of
what you
time.
accomplished
People
is
talking about
being a
nothing, but I'm
moderator
filming it
to-
all, so like technically
So
I'm the
you're
only
dumpster
one
fire,
actually
Clubhouse.
creating anything out of this.
Pretty much
Everybody here is just doing
I
basically
would
talk
create it.
therapy.
Laughs. I got some laughs.
No, I would create it, but I was often the main antagonist, like the whole room. But so sometimes there's nobody on my side, and I'd say a good chunk of the time nobody would dare. Like they don't want to like lose friends on here or be, or rub people the wrong way, so they wouldn't say the stuff I would say, and so it'd be people telling, saying like nasty shit to me, and I got a kick out of it, to be honest with you. Like, I thought it was funny. Like, I loved when you got like the people that would express like their violent hate for me and white
so
people.
maybe a lot
I
of
thought these people were
are
hilarious.
the same way. Maybe people are just kicking rocks here. They're not really trying to get some sort of social media career launch off from this.
Oh, there's some people who are. It's who I was making fun of.
Some people. Very few.
Well, I think most of us, Mikhail, you're one of them. Like, we just kind of, after I stopped making rooms, I just came on this app because, well, I didn't like know a bunch of people, and it's just easier. I didn't feel like trying
to content create. I mean, a lot of people have been telling me. I mean, I think the Western social media could use a self-professed Hamas supporter. I think I could do that.
I mean, you get demonetized and probably kicked off a platform.
Yeah, it's all about your niche, your angle. Like, you don't have to literally spell out
Projection
the words
count
for
number
the word
3.
to
That was
be
a
there.
perfect projection. A self-professed Hamas.
Nick Fuentes is pretty much like, some spectrum. He meets on the spectrum with, like, white supremacists or Aryanists. So he doesn't necessarily represent
Pepe's gonna
him,
get
but
clear.
they overlap. So
This room's going downhill
That's the
quick.
thing.
Here we
You
go.
could be-
Here comes Pepe's kick.
you could be crypto about it, Pepe. You don't have to say racist slur words to, for your content to, like, be white centric. I'm just saying your skill isn't in how many times you could say the N-word. Or how many versions. Or how many adjectives you want to slap on it. You got a temperature feel on what can rally people up. You keep up with shit that gets specific demographics going. I think there's potential. It's just up to you.
Okay, well, so I'm gonna end this room. This is Pepe the Movie Part 3 clipped. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna start a new one. Find a new run with the more scandalous.
Free Palestine.
Here we go.
Honestly, I think you could make a pretty good social media series just like busting BHI or Afrocentrist or Hoteps. Just them alone can provide some funny content.
Sure, but when you go on X Spaces, like 2 years ago when I started going on X Spaces, what ended up happening is you had large neo-Nazi rooms, like a few hundred people in them. Then you had you have this guy, it's like the general, and then he'd do a show with this salty girl, have a few hundred people in his. Now on X you have like 24/7 JQ, and it's, which, there's some overlap with the white identitarian people. They've always got a few hundred people in their rooms. It's like literally saturated with like pro-white people and that kind of stuff. And you also have like a large presence of the black identitarians and all the flavors. They come in and they do debate and fight on there all the time. And it's just like, dude, it's also just boring now. Like, I don't even like talking about it as much anymore, because it's like for a few years I've had these conversations like every fucking day, and it just gets old. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe one of the the Overton windows shifted so much in the last few years. Now you have like protests, like yesterday in Australia, you had tens of thousands. I think it was 150,000 in one city. And they're all like anti-immigrant. They're anti-immigration protests, and you have. It's like, I think my views are far more mainstream now, and so I did kind of revel in being the bad guy. Like, I actually liked that role. Like, I got a big fucking kick out of being the pariah.
Why?
I mean, you could have a.
No, like,
I don't know.
Why? You're so much
It's
more
not a
useful
skill.
when you don't do that.
At least if I,
Dumpster fires.
My opinion, you are far, 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 far more useful with your brain when you don't do that shit, like, rather than when you do. When you do, it, like, takes you down into the gutter, and you're somebody who's capable of not getting down to the gutter. It seems, in my opinion, it detracts from your overall argument. But that's just me.
yeah, well, I don't really try to persuade people anymore, especially on this app. Everybody knows each other. I think there's other forces kind of persuading people to be more, if you're white, at least like really rethinking the whole multiculturalism thing and the demographic change and, kind of saying, well, no, fuck all of this. We kind of like our identity and wish to keep our countries.
Dude, I always feel
the
weird
same.
about that because I don't have any like white identitarian beliefs at all. It's not one of those things I think about. I don't like because of where I grew up and because of where you grew up. Like, you're mostly Hispanic. You may not look it, but like all of the customs, the manners, the words, they relate to that. And I relate far more to being in a Hispanic community than I do relate to being a white guy. Like, to be frank, I find getting in the middle of a bunch of white people weird. They're weird fucking groups of people. They do weird shit.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of been my bearing on it. Like, somebody once told me I needed to feel bad for other white people, and I was like, I just don't. There's nothing about that that makes me feel bad. Like, I feel bad you may not have a lot of money, but like, there's no identitarian measure there for me. I don't understand how people grip so hard to that. It's never made sense to me.
Well, I'm not somebody who advocates necessarily that you have to do that on a personal level, but I'm saying when I talk about demographic changes, that is when I see it being a disaster, and that's always been my point. Like, it is in the British people's best interest to remain overwhelmingly British.
And there is no threat. There is no imminent threat to there being any sort of demographic swing. Like, there's a much
Of course
more.
there is.
No, not when it comes down to the UK. Like 83% of the UK is freaking white, man. The Anglo.
Yeah, but that changes quickly.
That not as quick as you're thinking.
Sure it does.
You sound the alarm when the
1965.
10%.
Sure, but 1965 we were 90% white. Now we're nearing half.
Well, again, it's not. First of all, no we. But at the end of the day, there is a problem, and there is a demographic collapse. There is a growth rate that it can't sustain a specific society, like any society. You just can't sustain them at those growth rates. And the West, Western Europe, and just in general the West, is below this standard growth rate. So they need immigrants. It's not even optional.
Yeah, they are below replacement rate. So it depends on how you get those immigrants. I don't disagree with you that they're vital. I think lots of immigrants are vital, to be frank. But it depends on how they come. If they're coming into the country illegally, that's going to have a whole other constituency of people who are opposed.
Amazing. People are always going to oppose a policy regardless of how great. But at the end of the day, in the West, if it wasn't productive, if the good didn't outweigh the evil, I would highly doubt that it would have remained a policy.
Well, I'll let Doctor or Jay go. He wanted to talk, but I think it's benefiting mainly the wealthy, not us.
At the end of the day, your enemy is
the only rabbinical pseudo-scholar on stage, I want to offer that I think Donald Trump is to blame for this, whether he's done good things for the world, the country, the universe or not. He has breached the I don't want to say the moral. His moral compass needs to be calibrated. The things that he does encourages us to behave somewhat out of sorts, if you will, as a populace. And so, like, if I was a high school student, I would be like, why do I have to listen to a single goddamn rule? Look at all the things that are broken every day. So that's just my take. Take it for what it's worth. Thank you.
I mean, I can't help but look at, like, I don't know, I do think, like, I don't look at immigrants as, like, the cause, or how do I put it, the ones initiating, even them immigrating. There's obvious push and pull factors, but I would say, though, I think that leadership, and I'm just gonna flat out say it, the wealthy in the United States, places like the UK, that they trying to fuel. I personally believe they hate the fucking middle class. They're willing to find any way possible to gut them, flood countries with cheap labor, more people to consume shit, to undermine the middle class. I look at it as, like, really a failure that comes from the top in our countries, and we don't have to ask why migrants are coming to our countries. It's obvious why they're doing it, but I don't think it's healthy, and it's not necessarily because they aren't white. It's multiculturalism has like a 0% success rate. There's never a kumbaya moment. It's always going to be a fight for power, and religious and ethnic lines are two of the primary fault lines where they do not agree to kumbaya. It's always going to end up in a power struggle, and sometimes it gets very violent. And I'm not willing to do that.
Stretch shit out.
Hi,
Like,
excuse
not
me.
all countries that are multicultural last the same amount of time, right? Like, think of Rome in the 450s with the Visigoths and Ostrogoths, right? Like, they call
Hey, my name is Marshall Rankin, and let's talk about Rome in the 450s.
It took over their culture. So, I mean, I think that's at least something important to note.
Okay, so we have a room open called Pepe Gets Clipped Countdown. See how long
I'm just
until
summarizing
he
what
gets
you're
clipped.
saying.
We also just
I
reported
think Donna
his
had
account.
something to say, and the men were a little louder. Go ahead,
I'm
Donna.
sorry, Pepe. I didn't want to interrupt because I was sitting here just listening to what all you gentlemen had to say, and as usual, just in the chat and chatting up. And it seems like you just have people up here who don't like to. Now, I was keeping quiet, and I ain't gonna get rowdy or nothing, but it's just like you got people in here who don't like to take the L, which means the loss, Professor. It looks like you don't like to take the L or take the loss. And then I had asked, Pepe, why don't you do a toll here to see who looks like the transvestite scowling man with a huge nose, and who looks normal. So now I didn't want to go there, the professor. I really didn't. You went there. Well, probably you do too. Probably you do too. I'm talking to the professor.
Biological
Who
male.
just blocked me. Can I have the floor for 5 minutes? I'm not gonna hold it.
5 minutes. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not gonna hold the
Whole
floor
5
no
ass
longer than
minutes.
this.
That's like an attorney.
Let me-
If you're gonna make your
I
beef
just
with
got through
somebody
talking
else
for
before
10
we're
seconds.
done,
I
if
just
you're gonna
was
make your
talking.
beef
You do
with somebody
bullshit
else
like that.
before owns entertainment, it's really not entertaining.
No, I'm not trying. No, Marshall. See, y'all haven't heard me out. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Mon. No, I'm not trying to be entertaining or trying to be a troll. Come on, y'all see me on here since season 1, but it's just like if people are gonna talk some stuff in the chat,
Okay, listen, I'm gonna
come
restart
off
the
the
room.
chat and
This is
say
Pepe
it. Don't be a
Gets
weasel. and go
Respect him,
behind
his
the
account.
mics and say it. That's all I was just saying.
That's
I'm
all.
talking to somebody else. Now, I'll let all y'all good people up here and say stuff. Even the moderator, the man who made the room, let me talk and say stuff. And I thank you, Pepe, for that. I just wanted to just put it out there because I'm gonna be out. I don't want to hold y'all people's time. I just wanted to let you know, Miss what's your name? Professor, whatever you think, call yourself, you need a better picture and some deep condition and leave-in condition on that fucked up head of yours. That's all. Y'all got it. You want the bull, you get the horns. I don't really say too much on this app or start trouble, but if people come for me, I show you what it's like. You can ask anybody I follow how I am. That's all.
I don't think the professor has ever dealt with a black woman like you. So
Well, she fucked around and found out. Like I said, I don't come on here and start trouble. I don't troll. I don't say ridiculous things. I like to come on and go in rooms and talk about the topic. But if I see something, I'm gonna talk about it. So you can call me as many ugly as you want. I could come off the face thing, and I still look beautiful.
All right.
That's all. I ain't got no more to say. I'm not gonna hold up y'all room. I'm not gonna ruffle no more feathers. Thank you,
Alright,
Pepe.
Donna, if you want to run the professor.
Okay, hold on. No. Yeah, stop. So, so regarding the topic we were at, I think somebody was saying something inevitable, and I'm guessing you're talking about human migrations, which yes, like all the French and the Germans didn't exist, 500 years ago. It's like, or even 1500 years ago. It's like a mix of different peoples that have been mixing for thousands of years. I'm not like naive, and of course travel is done. What would have taken thousands of years for people to maybe migrate from from Alaska to the tip of South America. You can literally do it in under a day. So there's a lot of changes, but
reality is white people, or whatever you want to call white people, which are just Western European people, trying to take credit for, civilizations as like Romans or Greeks.
no, it's not that I want to take credit for it.
I'm just saying in general, not
let me
targeting
have
you
this.
specifically.
Like
Mediterranean
what?
civilizations and accomplishments. But regardless,
You don't think that Western civilization acknowledged Eastern
before you get offended, Buttercup.
Wait, are you riding the
No,
coattails of Jews,
I'm
Mikhail?
not offended. I'm just curious.
Oh,
It's a
you're
historical
the
study.
one running the coattails of Semites. Anyways,
No, Jews, specifically.
God damn it, Rich! Let fucking just let Mikkel finish, and then Marshall can go.
you're not a Semite, man. It's okay. No, calm down. The problem is that these societies are just not having the proper birth rates. It just fundamentally comes down to that. There's no really escaping this reality. If you want a prospering, growing society into the future, you're going to have to rely on immigration if it's not going to be, family growth, or the amount of children a white family is willing to have. So, that's just the cold hard facts. And you're not, usually with immigrants, you're not going to be, this isn't going to your local market, who I want to come, who's available to be a migrant and just leave their homeland and come and go through, discrimination and rising against a glass ceiling. Like, who wants to do that? So, the reason they're coming from specific regions of the world is because, it's not a privilege, man.
We should only let the Christians in.
I'm confused. Let's not.
Yeah, because the Christians can't wait to go to,
We should bring in all the Spanish people and stuff like that who want to come in legally. We'll bring them in if they're Christians, and we won't bring in the Muslims because we don't want terrorists.
All right, Rich. All right, we're not. I'm not doing that.
Pepe.
Yeah, this is why, one can't really take white, I don't know, political thought, if you want to call it that, seriously, because it's just always saturated with these dum-dums.
What is
Pepe, you want more Mikhails in the country?
Hold on.
I'm gonna ask that question.
What is
No, let Marshall go.
thought?
What, Marshall?
Yeah, just another pseudo identity that
I was
claims
asking,
to have
what is white political thought? I don't know what that is. Can you tell me?
thought, political thought that is based around white identity and the concept of a white race, and that the West represents some sort of white civilization.
Oh,
Sounds pretty
you're
nice.
talking about Rudyard Kipling's One Man's Party.
Aryanism,
Yeah, dude, that's terrible.
Neo-Aryan. Anyways,
Yeah, but Marshall, do you honestly want more Mikhails in the country? He says that ISIS are freedom fighters.
I would prefer anybody who wants to be a U.S. citizen and pass the citizenship test.
When
That's
white
what I
people,
Even
when
if
white
they
people,
think that ISIS are terrorists, freedom fighters.
when white people cosplay as
Yeah, dude, they're
Aryan,
allowed.
oh
They're
yeah, it's so
allowed. They're
pathetic.
That was a Freudian
Hold on,
study.
guys.
Rich
Hey,
is
people are talking over.
Go ahead.
when white people cosplay as Aryans, is that the same thing as black people cosplaying as Israelites?
Yeah, similar.
I would say that like
Love that. I'll tell you. You know the original Aryans were north of India, right? They found some remnants of a civilization, but they haven't found the houses or like business districts or anything like that. And they were all like northern Indian and shit.
Yeah, I think a
they're
German,
part of the
a
art.
German woman did a
It's called
documentary.
Aryan replacement theory.
She actually went to a tribe in the Middle East that still housed Aryans, dark-skinned Middle Eastern people, and they laughed. She was like, "Do you know that there are people in Germany that are cosplaying as you?" And they laughed.
But I thought that there's three main migrations into Europe, and so you had what would have been people that largely came from the northern India. Then you had from the Caspian, like the steppes area, and then you had like the Anatolian, what was it, herders or some shit, and that's what contemporary Europeans are comprised of. Those three waves of migration into Europe, but. I think, to be honest, though, when people say Aryan, I think it's more like the esoteric racial shit that the Nazis believed in.
Goebbels and Himmler thought up. They worked in unison for that crazy shit, right?
I mean, I don't look at Europeans. I look at Europeans like as one, or like whites, which I consider white people from Europe. I consider them one, as in compared to the rest of the world, they're most like each other, and they come from a similar region, much like East Asia. I mean, Cambodians don't look like Chinese people, and they don't look like people that are Thai and so forth. But they obviously are more similar all to each other. But there's obvious real differences. Like, I don't think like all white people are even remotely the same. I mean, culturally, phenotypically, their history can be so much different from each other's.
Aryan, Northern, Western, European, that's non-Slavic. Right.
But even then, if you look at like Northern Europe, Scandinavians are still like different on
Okay,
average,
I'm gonna
and
restart this
compare.
room.
I mean,
Also,
they're still quite a bit
increase the
different from
pressure on
even
Pepe.
people from the UK. I don't know. I almost kind of put Scandinavian people in their own box.
Okay, this room is called Mass Reporting Pepe.
I mean, it is cringe, I think, like, if you're to be, like, a short, squat little Southern Italian and you have, like, fucking white pride with a Viking's head tattoo. It's like, dude, that's not your people.
You never know with the Italians. I mean,
I understand they're mixed.
half of them are like from Norway, anyways.
No, not half of them. So they have a tiny bit, though.
Hello.
But still, I mean, I still let it stand. I think it's completely natural for people to be. I think this multiculturalism stuff. The reason I'm so against it is because you basically inviting in multiculturalism means erasure of your culture. There's no way you can avoid that. Now you become a mishmash of what the fuck ever. A bunch of competing identities and ideologies.
How does that mean erasure, though? How
Sure.
does conjoining mean erasure? That is
Sure.
self-centered, weird-ass shit to say.
Okay,
Inviting
sure.
other cultures mean erasure of yours, or not?
Yes.
Yours is no longer centered. Which one is?
Well, ours should be centered
But
if it's
it
our
should not
country.
be. This is not your country.
Why shouldn't
though.
it be?
You are not American. You are European.
What are you?
No, let's say
No,
you're the one worried.
by the way.
You're the one worried.
Just
I'm
so you
American.
know,
I was bringing up Europe earlier.
family is part India, which makes
No,
it
Marshall, Patrick, the star. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Pepe.
Okay, but when it comes to so I was
How
talking
do you come to a
specifically about
country?
Europe.
Hold on.
Shut your fucking mouth and let me
no,
answer the
that
question.
ass Jersey
You
shit
asked
ass
me a
bitch.
fucking question. You asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer, and then you interrupt me while I'm answering. So how? Okay, so I would say the people of Europe, the old world countries. Look at Africa. Look at Europe. Look at Asia. I would say those are largely consist of states that were formed around ethnic groups.
How is America your country?
Amazing, but you're not.
I'm just
You
asking
didn't
you a
let me
question,
finish
Pepe. We
answering.
can
You
go
didn't.
into
No,
the
you're
insults
answering.
to
You're asking me a question while I'm
We can
answering
go into
another question.
insults to distract.
I'm answering a question that you
How is
asked.
America your country?
Let me finish my original question. Now, when it comes to these countries, okay, let's say Germany,
Let's say
ethnically
America.
German. Shut the fuck up and
Let's
let me
say
finish
America. Let's
answering.
stick to America.
Shut up, dude. If you're just gonna ask questions while I'm already answering a question, I'm just gonna kick you.
I don't give a fuck, Pepe.
You're being obnoxious.
How is America your country?
You let me answer the original
Okay,
question
let him
first.
answer. Let him answer. Let him answer.
So, yes, I think the Germans should absolutely, just like the Japanese, just like Nigerians, they should center themselves in their own land of origin. Abso-fucking-lutely. They should not allow it to be Arabized, Anglicized, any of that shit. They should keep it for themselves. That is perfectly reasonable. Now, can you tell me how what I said was wrong?
Once again, how is America your country?
I was born here. My parents were born here. Amazing.
That's all you got?
It's also a new world country.
Okay, so how many other people were born here that's different cultures than yours, and you
Mm-hmm.
think that what you started your statement off with, bringing in other cultures of people, will erase yours? How the fuck does that happen? Why would you be erased?
Yes.
You would no longer be centered, but why would you be erased?
I just gave you a
would
prime
not be
example.
erased, though.
I just gave you a prime example. Do you think Nigeria should allow themselves to be anglicized
This
or
is not
Arabized?
Europe, though. We're
I'm talking about multicultural. No, I was talking about the West in general.
What is a prominently African country?
Yes.
This is America. It's all.
Okay, and what about Europe? That's predominantly white.
It was a mixing pot before you got here.
A mixing pot of white.
America was
A mixing pot of what?
before you got here.
A mixing pot of what?
You came here and you're demanding.
Okay,
for
a mixing
not
a mixing pot of
You're
what?
demanding for America to not be more.
Okay, you're not
Okay,
answering.
listen, go report Pepe's account.
The question was a mixing pot of what?
Problem with America being multicultural?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you have a problem,
Okay, I'm trying to. Jazzy.
you can go to Europe.
Okay, look.
Where
And then come back
prominently
to my
black.
room, Susan.
Okay,
If you have a
listen.
problem with
Okay, listen.
multicultural,
Listen.
you go to Europe.
This is why black women have such a bad reputation. This is so bad.
Pepe, that's not gonna
Well, it's
work.
true. Who's the one woman that came off her mic and she's being belligerent? It's literally you. It's a bad look. Shut up. So
Fragile white male. Fragile.
okay.
Let him finish for the love of all that is holy.
Shut up, Patrick.
It doesn't work. If you want to talk to him, have a conversation.
She's an angry black woman. What do you expect?
No, that's not the point. If what you want to do is yell, then yell. If what you want is a catharsis, yell and get the catharsis out because we don't
I just
fucking
want to
need
mention
it.
that I'm.
Otherwise, if you
Rich,
want
we
to
don't
have
need
a
you
conversation,
ankle biting.
let's have the conversation. It's not that fucking
No, I
hard.
kind of like being an angry black woman.
We know,
Alright.
bitch. We know.
I like that. I like
So Jasmine,
doesn't help any
I like it.
conversation we're trying to have.
All right, so
He asked you a critical question. What multiculturalism? What are you talking about? Define it so we're all on the same page.
Hold on.
well, she said melting pot. I asked her which melting pot.
Melting
Is her
pot.
idea of melting pot?
Hold on. Why do I need to explain?
Okay, because we were a melting pot, like you said. We started as a melting pot. No, I have to mute you because you don't know how to behave. No, we were a melting pot. We were a melting pot. However, if you look at our first Immigration Act of 1790, where our very first Congress, immigration to the United States was limited to free white men of good moral character. It remained that way until 1965. Okay, so that melting pot, okay, where that term was coined, was consisted only of European immigrants. It was that they did not see people from of non-white lineage as being acceptable as immigrants. That is literally 200 years of our country's fucking history.
Not until the 1850s, Pepe, when they brought in the
I
Irish.
love how y'all distract people with just bullshit timelines that they don't feel like looking up right now.
I know this for a
Y'all
fact.
just yell too much out loud
Really
that they're not verifying.
The point
Anyway,
was, he asked you a
Marshall,
question that was very specific.
Since you
He
interfered
asked
with me
you a
and Pepe
question that was
back
very
in,
specific.
you
and
asked
you
me
seem not to want
about
to answer it.
multicultural, right, Marshall? That's what you asked me about.
That was
Why
the
would I
question.
need to explain multiculturalism if that's the exact thing that you're scared of in America? Why would I need to
Because you're
explain it if
having
it's the
a
exact thing that
conversation
you're
with other
afraid of?
people,
But you
and
go
you
to
don't get to
Mexico.
just
You
put
white men,
words out
you
there
white
without
men,
being
go to
questioned.
Mexico,
All
go
right,
to
she
Threw a
Africa,
set of
where
words
you're not
out
the.
there. I am questioning that set of words.
I had to kick her. She was not willing to have a
Thank you.
conversation. She was far too uneducated.
I'm on the same side, but that woman would not answer questions, and it was frustrating as all get out.
We need an angry black woman troll. Come on.
I mean, she doesn't
No,
realize.
I don't subscribe to all that shit. It didn't have anything to do with her being black. It had everything to do with her just not paying attention and not wanting to have an honest
It had everything to do with her being an angry
But
black.
I don't think she
No,
realizes
it's
there's the argument for why. First of all, you could argue that, and even the left would agree with this. We literally started as a white supremacist country.
Counter right now.
We remained that way for quite some time. Even in 1965, when the Hart-Celler Immigration Act passed, it was there was a couple polls that were done. It was unpopular with the general with the American population. And I believe it was like Robert F. Kennedy said, "Oh, well, don't worry, it's not going to change the demography of America," which it absolutely did. But this country, both the founders and the population as a whole, this country was the only people who could vote, and the people who had all the power in this country were white men. Nobody's going to deny that, left or right. They were the only ones allowed to have fucking power and make decisions. This was a country built by white men.
Well, it's not like there were other demographics, and these demographics were just like watching shit happen. I mean, other demographics were introduced over time, and then America dealt with those demographics the way it dealt.
Not pre-1960s, not really.
Hey, if you want to talk about like a contrast to blacks and natives, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but natives were not. They didn't have any power.
Exactly.
Blacks didn't have
They're
any
the
power.
ones you're trying
That's
to
why I
control,
said that
right?
whites. That's why I said that this country. When I say it was literally led and founded by whites, that was because they wanted it that way and they made it that way.
It's a colonial project, obviously.
Yeah, and so that's not. There's no academic on the left or right that would disagree with that part. Now, the people who will say, when it comes to America, that they'll say, well, it's not a white country. First of all, what do you mean? The country itself, until it was created, was a piece of fucking land. We had a revolution, and there's some land purchases. These white men created a fucking country. You speak a European language. The religion was brought over here, that they were practicing in Europe.
STDs.
And, all kinds of stuff. And, it was absolutely a country that since its inception was, they pretty much only thought white people should be allowed to immigrate here, and quite frankly, if you go far back enough, should only be allowed to be citizens.
America isn't just like the 13 colonies and their expansion and their central government. I mean, like the West, the southern West of this country is, you know.
Well,
Why can't we say, you know, these states are Mexican? This is all Mexican nation.
Oh, because we bought it.
Mexicans have the right of self-determination on this land. Like, who determines?
Which land?
I don't know. The sea to shining sea. That land.
Well, sure, but I would say the problem is that from the inception of the country, it was created one way by one specific group of people, and those were predominantly Anglo Protestants from the British Isles.
I get how the project might have kicked off. Like, I understand that, but who's to say? Well, because you know Europeans kicked off this project in the New World, that means they inherit like any sort of like position of authority.
Well, I guess I could ask you that question. I could ask you that same question.
Why should become Jews?
Okay, why should Gazans have the right to stay in Gaza just because their ancestors were there? Would you like that question?
We're there.
What about Palestinians? Should they have a right?
First of all, we're there because we don't have any other place to go.
It's not yours. Why can't the Jews? Shut up, Rich. Why can't the Jews do self-determination on the West Bank? Isn't that their right? Sea to the river.
If Jews were people and their claims checked out, you know, I would have been like, all right, yeah, you guys got a point, but their shit doesn't check out. That's all.
What doesn't check out?
I mean, do we really want to change the topic to Jews?
We don't have to, but I mean, but you're saying the same shit about like, well, yes, we fucking created this country. It's been here for hundreds of years.
America, again, there's generations created this country, generations that come from different backgrounds, and these generations, when they set roots, they're counting on the future generations, you know, having equal rights and being considered Americans. And if this country ends up seems inevitable at this point. You know, by 2070, you know, this country's supposed to be a Latino majority. You know, What is this? Do you believe that, you know, people of European background or heritage have some sort of inherent right to, if that reality comes into play, that they can say, screw democracy? And at this point, you know, it's our land, and it's our inheritance, and we get to do whatever the hell we want, even if it goes against, you know, the inalienable rights, you know, God has given us.
Well, they have the bigger gun.
Is that what you mean? We're allowed to make stupid decisions?
Hey, Pepe or the mods, I don't know if you want to look at the chat. If you want to go back to the original conversation, I think people are more interested in that.
Well, you know, let me take away, Pepe. Like Europeans, when they got over here, right? They were under rule of the Moors for 700-800 years. So they got to learn and study like high civilization.
Wait, the Moors where?
In Europe.
No, the Moors are not black people.
The Moors are not even black. They were more related to Europeans.
Why are we even talking about black?
The Moors.
Why are we talking about black? And
because
we're talking about
the Moors constituted a portion of the Umayyad dynasty, and the Moors were Berbers.
Who cares what color they were?
And the Berbers are the whitest fucking whitest people of Africa.
Yeah, who cares what color they are? It's about what they learned under them and what they like. They got to experience high society, and they got to bring those same values.
We were a high society before we went.
No, you weren't. You were in the Black Plague.
We were. First of all, again, see, that's why people clapping back on you. You know,
y'all were in medieval times.
All right, guys. I don't want to. Okay, let's just take a. So there's people in the chat. Not like I usually give a shit what Moose has to say. But yeah, we can talk about it because we did have, you know, this room. I did originally make it about, you know,
can you answer
it's really.
the question?
No, hold on, dude. I have to go through this again. Okay, so like everybody knows me, and like the stuff that I say, and the kind of, we just all know what I say, and the kinds of rooms I would open, or conversations I participate in. Now, my last account, it lasted like a year and a half, and you guys know what I was saying on my account. Now, I did get, we know about the very public feud I had with a few individuals on Clubhouse, but mainly one. And I know that, they're kind of teaming up. Now, since then, I'd say this has been going on for over a week. I've had my accounts clipped like every fucking day. And I mean every day. And I'm just like, holy shit. How does that happen? Because like I would say shit that would piss off whole rooms, that I was in, where it'd be like, a couple hundred people, or fuck, 300 or 400 people even. I'm guessing people would have reported me, but I was not getting clipped. And I remember telling Mikkel, like, and I was like, dude, I sometimes wonder if, like, there was somebody who, like, called the FBI on me live over, something stupid, and it was, like, they took a clip out of context, and a bunch of people were in that room, so they know, like, I didn't say what he thought I was saying, but I was wondering, like, well, maybe I am being monitored, and so they're just like, we won't kick them. I could have been too paranoid, but then I remember Mikhail was saying, no, it's probably just because, like, oh, you're Pepe, and they kind of expect you to say the stuff you say, so then they don't really care anymore. And, yeah, I was not getting clipped. But then all of a sudden, getting a feud with these people. And this individual had made a room after they got...
talking about Jews? Because I know, apparently...
No, we're not.
White
No.
supremacists.
No, these people aren't Jews.
Sensitive about.
No, there's no... The people I got into it with were not Jewish.
But they have access, like El Normo, like,
Yeah, but I wasn't... Yeah, but I didn't get into it with El Normo.
Friends, he rubbed shoulders with the JVs, and they can pull, certain strings.
Well, sure. So, I did. So, I remember, like, I got a house clipped, which had, like, 7,000 followers, and, I got, like, 2 accounts clipped at once. And then, this guy made a room gloating about it afterwards. He's like, I got 46,000 followers in my house. Now you got 20. And I was like, oh, but that's not your house, bro. And they ended up kicking him as an admin, so now he doesn't have a house with 46,000. That sucks. But anyways, he did make the comment, like, I have a feeling he's going to be getting clipped, like, a lot. So, like, you better stop making accounts. And I was like, huh? But then I had been getting clipped every day. And, like, today I got a notification. It says for doxing. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, I didn't dox anybody today. I got one yesterday. It says for doxing. It's like, who the fuck did I dox? Then it would be like the day before that, spam. What the fuck do you mean spam? I'm not spamming anybody. I don't even fucking post it, really in anything. I would
Docs Roger. But
and
I appreciated this.
shut the fuck up, Rich. Alright, dude, do you want to get kicked out of the fucking room? I know you like to be a fucking troll, but honestly, you were kind of stirring the fucking pot.
Just kick
No,
him
but you were
out.
stirring the fucking pot,
I'm the
dude.
entire reason that all this started, Pepe.
Rich, you need, Rich, you need to, sorry. I'm so
know.
sorry. Hold on just a second. Rich, please calm down. You need to hear some things. Just trust me on this, bro. Keep going, Pepe.
So, yeah, so they were saying this, and then Adams took credit for getting he took credit for getting my houses or my house and my accounts clipped.
Damn.
And he did say, who did he tell that? Who was he telling that he had like Michelle King do it?
I don't know about that, but he said that he's friends with Joe Armenia. I guess he's in charge of Clubhouse community.
I heard that one too, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, and he said that, for a while now. That's not something recent, but...
So, and this is so I'm like looking at my history on this app. And I'm thinking, like, dude, I've said things that have pissed off, like, whole rooms where people will say, like, reported, and it's like my account doesn't get clipped. Now, I will literally go, one whole day, and my account gets clipped for something I didn't even fucking do. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that is weird. I've been been going in any big rooms. How is this happening? And it's either they're abusing the mass reporting feature, and somehow whoever processes it at Clubhouse is just not really looking into it, or asking for an audio that proves that it happened, or somebody is basically calling up somebody at Clubhouse and is just like, hey, buddy, yeah, dude, can you go ahead and just do me a favor, clip them for me? And, it's happening that way because this does not make sense. Like, I've never been, a year and a half of the shit I would say in this app, but then suddenly I'm getting clipped on a daily basis for shit I didn't do. Like that, somebody's obviously pulling strings. And, if I had to guess, I'm guessing there's probably somebody that is close to somebody at Clubhouse that has the ability to just like pull your, clip your account, because otherwise it makes no sense. But yeah, I think it's a really shitty way. Now I understand that, there's these individuals are angry at me. I didn't dox one person, but there's a person who used to come up, join Clubhouse with their real name, tell people about a YouTube video he did with another Clubhouse person. I've seen the video, and he used to have his real picture. And so, like, I went onto a stage and with a screenshot of his, his face from the YouTube video. But like all the season 1 people were like, oh yeah, that's him. Who cares? And long story short, this guy was saying, like, oh, you should do a fat tax for people. You should. He was always talking about how we should do fat shaming. He was always talking about how much money he has. But then people were like, oh yeah, dude, we used to make fun of him. He used to, sell Pokemon's cards, and he lived in his mom's house. And then, from the video, you can see this motherfucker's overweight. And it's just like, okay, here's. Well, I don't want to dox him. That's why I only took a screenshot of his face.
Did you hear the audio clip?
No.
Which one?
Oh no.
Can you play it?
Well, it's not my room.
Okay, I can tell
You can
what
play-
clipped.
Okay, let's see. Dude, if you're trolling, dude, I'm just going to kick you out.
110%. JB admitted that he was in the room with the founder of Clubhouse, the Jewish guy, I can't remember his fucking name, and that he was telling him that, Pepe and a bunch of other people were doxing him and shit. And he said, I never fucking made him get his fucking account clipped, but, I did tell the fucking founder of the fucking, Clubhouse, such and such as, I don't remember his fucking name, the Jewish guy. But he's like, yeah, I fucking told him, in a room, he came in my room, and we got 36,000 fucking people in my fucking house, and, this motherfucker's trying to clip, dox me and shit, and Roger, and, but I'm not saying that I had him clipped, but, I did tell the fucking founder. That's what he said. It's on John Kitover admins. Hi, Cotton Pickers.
Hold on a second. I'll play a clip in a second if Pepe says it's all right, but he'll have to change the audio quality. But this is the thing, Rich. Okay, that's fine. But why? It's clearly written in the terms of service. You are not allowed to speak poorly on the deceased or victims of tragedy. Like, that's clear. It has been kind of base one against the rules of service since Clubhouse season 1. So how come I have JB speaking poorly about my late husband, calling me a fraud, that my late husband really wasn't killed in war. Then just 2 days ago, I have some asshole named Resistance saying that he was happy that my husband was murdered because he was a murderer. And then they're not clipped.
Good, because you don't have a house with 36,000 people.
Right? Well,
you don't have
he
to
didn't
hear
have a house. He didn't have a house. He was renting out the house. Let's get it clear. And it appears that he got evicted from it. For this whole narrative, like, I built this house, I'm like, no, you didn't, son. You came in and grifted off others like you have every
Wait,
other
he got
house.
kicked out of Healthy
He
Debates?
tried to.
Yeah, he's no longer an admin.
He's not an
I didn't
admin.
know that.
He's not a leader.
I'll be gone
His
for a week.
profile is active, so I call it evicted. But it's the pattern of it. He's done this how many times to how many different groups of people and got burnt every fucking single time. But to Pepe's title, why is that? So why is it that Joe Armenia is going to listen everything that Adams is telling him without actually having the facts, but he won't even, or Clubhouse won't even clip the people that clearly have broken the terms of service, and I have actually audio clips of them doing it.
And that's the shut the fuck up, bitch. Hold on.
That is
No,
the
shut up.
problem. That is the problem. And Rich, the thing is
Okay.
you're included in it. Adams is taking credit for getting you clipped multiple
Oh
times.
yeah,
as
but I
well.
have 800 accounts.
I understand that. But if you want to like continually and grow, so your voice is then being suppressed, your opinion, you're not allowed
Yeah,
to use the social audio app that you download and use. That's the hypocrisy of it. So, Pepe, I'll go ahead and play the clip in just a second, but you need to change the
Yeah, I will in a
audio.
second. I'll do that in a second. But I just want to make this clear. I did not dox Roger, okay? I did not dox JB. JB, that's you going on your real fucking, first of all, he uses his real fucking name on Clubhouse. So you, like, doxing him. What the fuck are you talking about? When it comes to Adams, I never doxed him. But what's really funny is that when he was accusing me of being a doxer, which is the ironic part, he literally doxed Monica in that same fucking room. And so, like, you get this narrative from these people, and what's really weird is like like when it comes to JB, when his other account is still it's available, he would go by Ketchikon. Million Man Marathon would do rooms about him. You had people like Grant Cardone, all kinds of people commenting on him. How many women accused him of harassment and making threats and of distributing nude photos they had sent him? He's done egregious shit on this app. And it's funny. And they're saying like JB is of all fucking people. And so, yeah, I mean, it's obviously somebody got into somebody's ear at Clubhouse, and it's like, dude, no, these are actually the people that dox and do this crap. I have, like, controversial content and discussions, but I'm not a doxer. I don't usually make people my content.
You know what's also odd, Pepe, is the fact that, sorry, I took my earbud out, that ding dong, JB said, I'm the biggest doc app, which I think is wild. I've been on since Clubhouse season 1. And he tried to use the example and spreading the example that I doxed this woman named Christy. And even though, how can I dox her when we FaceTimed each other, I've talked to her husband on this app. I mean, if you guys were in a room last night where Owen was in, when I asked him about it, he laughed. He's like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, no. We exposed a person that had fake breast cancer and scammed a lot of money out of them. I did that with this Christy lady, so it's kind of odd that he's now saying she's the biggest doxer and that I'm going after his family. Wait, which one is it? Am I going after your family or am I preventing Pepe from bringing up your family? So make up your mind. It's kind of odd, the whole selective component of this, but
don't say prevented.
Me to play the
yeah,
audio
but
now?
KK, don't say prevented from bringing up his family because I never attempted to bring up his family.
Well, no, I'm saying someone said something about his family, and I just immediately stopped you, just in case I wanted everyone to know, like, okay, you're not going to go there. So let me know when you're ready to play the audio.
Go ahead and play it.
Well, you got to change the audio
I did change
sound
it.
because. Oh, you did? Okay. All right. Hold on. So there we have. So he admits it. He's made it very clear in his open relationship.
We couldn't hear it.
Armenia.
We couldn't hear it.
Hear it?
No.
Okay,
It was
let me try it again.
total silence.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Are you playing it from another phone or
Yes, from another device.
speaker? Yeah, it was total silence.
Yeah, we thought we were still looking for it.
Are your headphones plugged in or something?
No, it's not. That's odd. Hold on.
Okay, Craig, listen, go report Pepe's account right now. We're gonna
Still nothing.
get him
Rich, shut the fuck up!
Well, she probably thinks it's
I know, just like let it happen. God damn.
We're
I
gonna
like
increase the
dude.
pressure in the room title. We're gonna recreate. Here we go.
It's still not playing?
No. I can't hear a sound.
Okay, let me try another source.
Do you have like a noise cancellation type of
Okay, this is
microphone? in
Adam
your phone
Slippers
or
and Jeremy, and this
settings?
is Pepe.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Do you have a noise cancellation settings on? Because we can't hear like anything, like a pin drop in your background.
Wow. Hold on a second.
It's too muffled. Can you like send it to me on Telegram and I can just play it?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll play it real quick. All right, let me play it.
Was that better?
no.
So, did you guys hear that?
I did.
We heard it. But can you kind of give us a synopsis? Was that Adams?
Yeah, it was Adams.
Yeah, that was Adams.
Claiming that he clipped you?
He's full of shit. He didn't clip nobody.
And 3 others. So I know he was gunning for Rich because he told me that personally.
He's a bullshit artist. Don't listen to anything he's.
Never underestimate the power of a shrewd gay black man.
I mean, he made all kinds of weird fucking accusations in his rooms.
Well, hold on a second. I'm reading a receipt that says, I'm sending this recording right now to Joe Armenia, Rico, Keegan, and Anderson need to be clipped. I mean, hold on a second. I'll give you a link so you can share the receipt, but I'm reading something literally right now with that.
He's just regurgitating what fucking JB said. It's like someone. He was in the room and heard JB say that. Now he's regurgitating it, saying that he's the one doing it. He's a bullshit artist, Adams is. Yeah, like it'll crash out KK and he'll be like, oh, KK was in my back channel trying to get at my booty hole and you know, like, it'll just fucking like attack people with like stupid random shit.
You will never be able to produce any type of receipt like that, nor will a single man on this app to be able to share that, nor a woman. So that's just absolutely silly. There's a reason why I don't go in private rooms with men on Clubhouse because they like to lie on you. Sorry, but it's true.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what Adams does. That's basically what he's for. Yeah, Adams is just trying to make himself relevant on Clubhouse. But verbatim, that's actually what JB was talking about. Is that he talked to the Joe Armenia guy? Yes, that's the guy who like founder, right?
No, he's responsible, I believe. I ran into his profile the other day. He's responsible, I believe, for Clubhouse community. Hold on a second. Let me post that link in the chat.
Whoever it was one of the fake guys at Clubhouse that came in JP's room and was just sitting there, and he invited him on stage, and he was telling him about how, myself and Pepe and other people were trying to dox him and, fucking with him and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, I'm not saying that I got fucking Pepe clipped, but, I did fucking relay this information over to such and such at Clubhouse. So, yeah, that was what JP's. Because he's a rat piece of shit.
Okay, I'm gonna post the receipt that I just talked about in the chat. And if you want to, Pepe, you can put it up on the Jumbotron. So he's obviously on this, he's admitting it. We've heard an audio file of it now. We're now seeing a receipt that says, I'm sending this recording right to Joe Armenia. Rico, Keegan, and Anderson need to be clipped. So when the audio clip that you just played said, yes, I got Pepe clipped in the Three Stooges or something like that, then, I know that's Rich, and Keegan did get clipped. I don't know who Rico, I think that meant Rich and Anderson. No, I posted it in the chat.
But you posted the link to the Telegram channel.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
I deleted it.
Thank you. Hold on.
I'll just put it up top. You know what's funny is that JB was, he didn't know this, but he said, I gotta let you guys know, I'm gonna see a defamation attorney tomorrow, and, trying to scare me or something. And then he's like, the beauty behind that is that they gotta get his real name and his information in order to sue him. And so, he's basically gloating about how he would be able to dox me. But, what he didn't know is that, when you do a, John Doe law. First of all, no attorney would say you have a case, because I did not. Bringing up somebody's history, which you volunteer yourself on this app, and then of course when we're on this app and we see the rooms that were made about you and the allegations that were made about you, that's just sharing information. That's not defamation. And what are the monetary damages? I mean, get the fuck out of here. But anyways, it costs $7,000 to $10,000 down just for a retainer, and it generally costs about $30,000 just to do one of these lawsuits. And yeah, you're not going to pay $7,000 to dox me. I mean, give me a fucking break.
But isn't Adams also? He's didn't he say some horrible things too about Keegan? And I don't even care for Keegan. That's been kind of known, but. It's kind of interesting that he's saying all these other people are being very very harassing and bullying, but in fact he has more of a history of it with the words that he shares and conveys about each other than a lot of people, right?
Somebody invite that faggot in.
Well, I mean, I would say that
he's probably already in here. Come on.
I mean, the problem is that where it's hypocritical. I mean, first of all, when it comes to Adams, it was nothing I did. The reason he's been attacking is because we all heard what he was saying and what JB was saying. and then that's when we were all separately, like, somebody came to me first, but I was suspecting it before this person, messaged me, and I know you guys were doing it to each other as well, and they're like, dude, we have a mole, don't we? And then we're all kind of asking, who do you think it is? And we're all like, yeah, Adams.
Hi, Cotton Digger.
Dude, don't do that again.
It's alright.
But he ended up, and sure enough, it's like, then all of a sudden he's kind of, he's been with JB doing the rooms, but we ended up finding out, like, hey, dude, you were in a private chat where people are, with your actual in real life friends, and you shared, Mike.
Oh, my bad.
No worries. And so, you, like, real life friends, like Rydell and KK, and you, and then you share it with JB? Like, we have a private chat for a fucking reason. And, basically I know, the ladies that were friends with him, tried to reach out to him, talk to him about it, and he was just like, deflecting.
Whoa. I just got a receipt of Adams in a chat saying we should petition Clubhouse to fire Joe Armenia. I can't make this shit up. Y'all are wild for sending me this shit. Stand by. I'll get it. I'll give you the...
I'm just saying, Adams should really chill out. Because certain people do know his information. I'm not going to say who.
Well, even I know his information, but I haven't shared it with anybody. But
Yeah,
it's like, I know, stop. Anyways, when it comes to, Jesus Christ, so I hate it when people interrupt me. When it comes to, as I say, oh yeah, him, he got caught lying and doing something like fucked up and giving information, maybe even a screenshot. We don't know how he did it, but some of it he would have only been able to hear because it was stuff that was being said in a private room. So he would have had to relay that information, and he was in that private room. And he just now he's like, oh well, no, no, it's because Pepe's wrong. It's almost like he's trying to make an excuse for why he's doing it in a weird way, and he doesn't want people to talk about it. And I don't know what it is. I know Clubhouse is kind of like his life and whatever, but he said that he's on a war to get me off this app. And of course, like JB, we know his motivation. It's like we were, I had rooms where I was incredibly insulting to him, and just like he was to me. And he has a lot of dirty laundry that can be aired out, and receipts can be dropped, including just by showing replays on this fucking app from a few years ago. And he ended up going on to I have 46,000 followers. And, he used that room as his own, like, personal... They would basically make response rooms in there. And he started saying, like, egregious shit and stuff that was super offensive. And I was surprised he was even doing it in that house. And,
Pepe, I sent you the link to that one. I mean, do you want... I mean, it's just confusing. I mean, it's interesting. I haven't been paying attention to this, but then I love it when people send me receipts. It's interesting. Can you post it on the Jumbo like you did before?
What was the eggplant about?
Yeah, but hold on a second. So, anyways, I hate getting interrupted. I ended up, fuck, what was I saying?
God, I hate getting interrupted.
I appreciate you sending the link. Maybe I'll put it on the top.
Yes, it goes. I'm about to get clipped.
No worries. What was my? I don't remember now. God damn it! So I hate getting interrupted. So I always forget. Yeah. Does anybody know where the fuck
They
we're
were
at?
talking about how you look like tennis.
Shut up.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's why I yell at people when they interrupt. Like, I cannot fucking stand that, because then I lose my train of thought.
Oh, JB being a rat piece of shit.
No, no, I was at a very specific point.
That Cole's boring.
I don't know.
Your memory, bro.
But, alright, so where were we? Yeah, I don't fucking remember now. Jesus Christ.
About dogs.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. This is why I fucking hate it when people interrupt me. Because it's like I'm like about to finish my fucking story and... Alright. Now I'm trying to think. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. God damn it.
Best state in the union, and everybody should move here and fuck Arizona.
Crazy. Most more people would leave Arizona, to be honest with you.
Except for Beaumont, Texas.
But, yeah, so when it comes to this app, I mean, there's just shit going on. A lot of fake stuff. People, and that is the one thing, is we have all the clips. And, of course, what's really shitty is he would make, like, JB made all those response rooms in Healthy Debates, but once he was removed as an admin, you know, it ended up, like, deleting all of his replays. But he kept on making one claim, and then it's just like, and I can understand people would be like, when they hear it, they say, he dogs my children. He's doxing families. What children? Dude, I don't even know about your fucking children. In fact, you know, we had talked about it in other rooms where people who, you know, used to be friends with you, they were saying, like, dude, does he even really have children? Like, what does he need children? And other people like, well, I thought maybe he had a son. But I don't know who your fucking kids are. Why do I even care? Nobody talked about your fucking children. I know nothing about them. The fuck does that have to do with me or this fucking house? Or your, you know, anything or Clubhouse? Nothing. Nobody talked about your fucking children.
Pepe. Yes.
But then when it comes to, fucking, you know, but then he was also making these stupid claims, like, I was, that I had doxed Roger, I had given away his address, I had doxed his family, I had some stupid shit, and I went into his room and I said, no, I didn't. I showed his fucking picture. What are you talking about? And he basically then doubled down when I called him out on it, and he said I did it the night before, and he has receipts from reliable resources. So I said, all right, dude, you know John Kitover recorded it, $1,000. Find the audio of me saying that any family member's name or giving away any address. He couldn't find it. It never happened. And so, you know, but he kept on going with this stupid narrative. And then he would never address, when he made response rooms, of course he couldn't address anything I said because he couldn't prove anything or even disprove anything I said. So he just continued going with like he fucked with my family, he doxed my family. Dude, receipts. Where did I dox your family? It never happened. I've never doxed you. Dude, I don't even know your fucking, who you're, I don't even know if you really have 2 kids, to be honest with you, or 3 kids, or 4 kids, or even 1 fucking kid. I don't know your fucking kids. I mean, what the fuck does that have to do with me? he's trying to like generate fake outrage over something that never happened. It's stupid. But that's a tactic. I get it. He's butthurt because he ended up running his mouth in a room about me, and the actual owners of the house, because it wasn't his house, said no, we don't tolerate this behavior. Kicked him as an admin. Now he can only get a few people into his shitty rooms. And he was getting really upset. I was somebody who stopped making rooms, but then when I started making rooms again, it's just like, oh, why is he getting more people in his room? Oh, this sucks. He wanted, it fucks with his ego because he's a narcissistic piece of shit.
Pepe, can you just do me a favor and talk to him as if he's here right now? Because he's an anonymous account.
No, I know they're here.
Well, just tell him how you really feel.
Dude, I'm not gonna make this like a shit talking room. But I mean, it is. I am curious who at Clubhouse is doing this, getting accounts clipped, despite not having. I'll just say it, flat out false information, and
Yeah,
it's
you never dox anybody.
I know. I never dox him. You're correct. I don't dox people.
I did.
I have. Sure, but I have, like, my whole MO is to come on here, I'd have controversial topics, I would have unpopular opinions, sometimes I use naughty words. That has been my MO from, like, years. It's never been a doxer. I've never been a doxer. None of you will find clips of me being a doxer. There's a whole bunch of clips of me saying naughty words and insulting things, but doxing's not one of them.
And the only reason I concede that I did dox him is because doxing includes releasing public information, private and or public information. So when there's a CBS article or whatever it was, I can't remember which news agency.
Don't dox anybody. Don't dox anybody.
No, I'm not going to. I'm saying when I release that news article, that technically is doxing because it's also public information. So technically, yes, when I say that I doxed him, I did release public information that was through a fucking national fucking news station.
Yeah, but he's already addressed. So his whole MO this is once again not doxing because if you look up Ketchikon without any spaces,
we'll be walking to Pepe the
letter
Doc
A and then Con.
where we are continuing
That's
to
still a
document
profile on this app.
Pepe Stir the Pot.
His whole MO was like, yeah, I used to be a con man.
And,
I did some time in
Roger
prison.
Lamb.
Yeah, and he would give out his real
JB loves
name.
you because you
And he'd say,
defended him.
you can look up the information and all
you,
that.
God
And
bless
then,
you. You're a good
he would
friend.
basically try to
I love
get it
you,
over with
baby.
because he knew it was always coming, I think, whatever circles he went in, that it would get
But
back
this
to
is,
them that, like, hey, this
what's
is what I
funny
was in
is
prison
Pepe
for.
doesn't have any
And so
other
we
content.
all know,
like
we all
JB
know
becomes
about his
Pepe's
fucking
content, and then
background,
Pepe
and he
becomes
would
JB's
volunteer
content,
it.
So it's like this vicious circle, and
that's-
they're both too stupid to
That's
be
how
able
it
to
happened.
decipher
I mean, you
what
had
it is.
one guy.
So it's just funny recording it because
He
it's
was
just like
fucking
perpetual
stupid, but he
drama,
used to be
gossip.
moderated in my rooms
It's just
years ago.
gossip and, drama, which is lots of
And
heart. So welcome to Lash and Hard
I would
TV.
just, as you guys all know, I'm
I'm your
notorious.
host, Mojo,
At least people come in my
documenting
rooms.
the
I'm
frog
notorious for
suit,
going to bed like early
the
and
moron
then passing out while my
boxing
room's
brain
open.
damage
And then
pee-pee.
people do all kinds of stupid shit in there, or used to. But I guess there was a guy, Yams. That's his name on here. He was, for whatever reason, got into an argument with one of the guys that used to be a moderator. Actually, this didn't happen in my room. We kicked him out for making threats against another moderator like a month and a half before that. But anyways, this guy ends up getting in a fight with Yams. And he's like, oh yeah, well here's my name, pussy, or something like that. And he's like, I live in Texas, and gave out his real name. So the guy like looks up his real name. And one of the first things that pops up is like the Texas sex offender registry. And he literally has to get yearly photos for child molestation. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, are you retarded? But that's, I guess, when trying to be a tough guy fails. Absolutely, had nothing to do with me. But that was self-doxing.
Hey,
Can I help you with one thing real quick?
Can we say that person's name or not?
No, he used to go by a different name, and don't do it on the stage.
Okay, cool. Pepe, I just wanted to let you know, for any of these anonymous accounts, if you want them to leave the room immediately, all you have to do is play music that is copyrighted. So if you play like 30 to 60
That's
seconds,
not-
all the anonymous
they
accounts
won't.
will leave. The ones that are live streaming will, because if they're
Yeah, I know
streaming it
that's
to
an
any
old trick.
platform.
Yeah, that's an old trick, but I don't. It's not like John Kitover. That's his name on Clubhouse.
No, John's fine.
We know he streams. So hold on. Oh yeah, we know he's the only one I know of that streams on YouTube, and he doesn't get paid anything really. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just put another link in the chat, and I think it's just odd now that Adams is saying Joe Armenia is his buddy, and that's how he's getting how he got you clipped, and you play the audio of that. Like, you can read what he's called Joe. He called him a sexual preference slur.
Faggot.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but
Oh, I'll say it for you.
yeah, I mean, that's wild. I love people sending me all these receipts. It's kind of interesting.
If you guys want to write it in the chat, just put a U instead of an O.
Oh my gosh.
No, we don't need to do that. But anyways, like when it comes to Adams, he's
Okay,
somebody
BB,
who Jesus
this
Christ.
has been another
what I find it
episode
ironic is he was
of
also
Pepe
saying
the
like
Doc Show
Pepe,
in the
he just
Pepe
like
house.
he just
Follow
like
the house,
whispers his
cashing that pink
content.
ticket. We've been recording
Dude,
Pepe for like the past 2 hours.
I don't understand is
Cutting
like
it up,
he's somebody
chopping
who
it
would
up.
get in acting
Hope you
ratchet and
enjoyed the
loud
show.
on his
This
loud
is a young
mic,
man
and
who has
he
a
would
traumatic
primarily
brain
target
injury.
black women
He was a
for whatever
boxer.
reason. That's who
Comes
he would
on here
bang
and stirs
with,
the
and he'd be
pot,
like,
talks
"You
about nothing.
big back
Total waste of
bonnet
time.
wearing,
Slash and
Stubby
Toira.
what the fuck would he say?
Be productive, hit
Like,
the gym, eat well, get in the sun, have some
It's like
fun.
big back
But
bonnet
this
wearing,
is business.
silverback,
And the
that
business
kind of shit.
of retards
Talking
wasting
to,
your time.
making fun of them about
is my
them being
business.
ghetto.
Does that make
and
me a
he was
retard
like,
finder?
He would
It
do
does.
He was so
It makes
obnoxious.
me. I find
And
retards
it's not because I thought he
professionally.
was offensive,
We're
because
not
I don't really care
monetizing
that
it,
he
as
says
Pepe
that
said.
stuff,
We
but
haven't
it's just that he
cracked
would
the
get on this
code
loud
yet,
mic
but
screaming, and it was just like pierces your
YouTubers
fucking ears. I'm just like,
not
dude, just
topic
Jesus Christ, you
us.
fuck up rooms.
They do not give us followers. Basically, I think all my accounts are pretty much like shadow banned.
It's like clear
They
not.
do get views, but it's a lot of.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, and with him, he's like, now he wants
It's
to
a
play
lot
the
of,
race, dude.
Clubhouse
You
people
were,
are probably
he was
me.
one of the
I'm probably
first,
my
like
own number one
the
customer.
mods.
It's funny because I looked at my
for all,
X account
like,
analytics and I realized it's like, oh my god,
primarily 2
I'm the
years
number one
where I
person.
was doing
visiting my
the
profile,
White
all
America
these
rooms on a daily
activities.
basis. He
Look
was
at
one
me.
of the OG mods. He was one
So
of the people.
I am kind of wasting my time, but
Rydell was one of them. And
I do find
there
this
were several
to be the
that were
best
black,
way to use all
but
these
if you go
phones
back
is
to the
like
old
create
days, I
content.
mean, there's others.
I don't have to store any
if you guys
data.
remember, you
It's just all
remember.
live stream.
But he was one of the people that would
I don't know. To me, it's like the future
like,
of broadcast. So.
make fun of, I guess you could say, quote unquote, ghetto black
Anyways, I
people
hope you
a
enjoyed
lot.
the show. This has been
And
Pepe the Doc Show.
I don't know. I just think he's hypocritical. Now he wants to play the race card. Like, give me a fucking break.
Also, for anybody else in the audience, if you want to write the N word, just add 2 more G's.
But yeah, so these people are either abusing, and maybe Joe Armenia will see this room. I heard that sometimes they pop in if you have Clubhouse in the title. But I mean, these are receipts that, of course, KK's has been. I've more or less been cool with Adams on this app, not, as opposed to like KK and Rydell, more in real life. And yeah, I mean, you see the nasty stuff that he says. He brags about being able to get, Joe Armenia to clip people. And I don't know if that's who did it for me. I really don't.
But why would he brag about it then?
I don't know.
Multiple times, and said the three other stooges as well, meaning Keegan, which was clipped, Rich, who was clipped, he was in here just a minute ago. I don't know who the third person is or whatever. It's just like, all right. This is the thing. I used to think it was like, okay, harmless, whatever. But now it seems like it's an obsession. But poor Joe Armenia doesn't even understand, the torrid things Adams says. I shared in the receipts that, he's talked about Joe, but now Joe, if he's doing it, or if it's not Joe, I don't want to say the woman's name that others are suggesting that Adams went to, because I don't think that's fair to her to put into this, but because Adams is the one that's saying with his full chest, I did it. I make no excuses about it. I've said it out loud. I have not hid from it. But for what context would you be clipped for the past several times, right?
That's a thing.
That doesn't make sense. But yet the people that clearly against terms of service towards me, JB and that guy Renaissance just this past week. What, I can also call out American Woman who told me to go suck my deceased husband's dick in from his gravesite. I could share that as well. I mean,
she's become so mouthy. I know her from like 5 years ago.
I mean, I have that.
Like before this app, I've known her.
It's not even just me. Like ML saying that he would dig up Brad's wife and, you know, R her and his daughters too. Like, she's deceased. It's like, well, what is it? Which is it? Like, oh, you get irritated because you're upset with Pepe, so you go crying to Joe, and Joe and Clubhouse keep clipping you, but you're not actually clipping the people that have clearly, and I do have those recordings and those receipts and those images from the chat and all that shit that shows that. But yet, somehow, then I'm labeled unstable. I'm then diagnosed that, from an armchair perspective, that I'm unstable. But when I'm sitting here advocating for what should be done as deemable for being clipped and not being clipped, right? So it's a little hypocritical here. So where's the consistency of this? You didn't get clipped for how many years, Pepe, and now you're getting clipped right and left because someone all of a sudden hated. I mean, you saw my links in the chat. Fired Joe Armenia, called him a sexual preference slur word. He should be fired. I mean, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, I went to him and I got you clipped via him. So I mean, is that showing preference to users? What's the deal? Is it only because others have Anon? Is that what it is? It's like, oh, we'll only protect you if you pay monthly? I don't know. Where's the line?
I mean, I know something is not right because, like, once again, you guys know the stuff I would say. It revolved around generally different groups of people. Or political ideologies. Like, I would have I would mainly go into other rooms that had controversial topics and would sometimes have controversial opinions, sometimes say naughty words. We all know that. And then like a year and a half, no bans, no getting clipped. And this is somebody who was, for the last few months has been coming on here like every day. And I know that when I'm in like Lufax rooms or some of these bigger rooms, I am getting reported for sure because people are going to be offended by some of the shit I say. People say they reported me. Now, I don't get clipped, but then suddenly, the fact that I get clipped every day, that is fucking weird. There is a string that is obviously being pulled. This is not normal, and the reasons I'm getting, like, when I get clipped, it's for things I did not do. Like 2 days in a row, I've been clipped for doxing. Doxed who? I didn't dox anybody yesterday. I didn't dox anybody the day before. It's stupid.
What rooms were you in yesterday? Is there?
Well, I was in Ewan's room.
Ewan's room. You fell asleep shortly after. So.
Yeah.
So there's that. What else? Was there another room?
I don't remember. I'm sure I went to a few, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
on this account, this is the only room I've been in, and I left this on record too, like replays on.
Well, I don't even think it's your name, because you've had profiles with what I would call like a comical name that you identify as sometimes, like Pasquale. So it's not even in the algorithm of every time, Clubhouse alert system, if this person has a profile and his name is Pepe, that you need to clip them because you've had other comical names that you like to use, like Pasquale. And Pasquale even got clipped. And the only time Pasquale, I believe, was speaking in a room on stage was when we were talking politics. So that means somebody must have commented on an Anon account, shared the link of that actual Pasquale's profile, shared it to someone else to get that account clipped, right?
Yep.
So that's what it seems like to me. So my thing is why is there this favoritism, right? Oh, if you get on the wrong side of certain people that can't decide if they like one person 1 month and to the next, then you're going to get your account clipped. I mean, I'm sorry, that should be a concern. Oh, then you're also going to ignore the egregious, obvious cases of terms against service, speaking ill on the deceased to include victims of tragedy. That's verbatim what it says in the terms of service. You're going to let that shit go? When I have audio files of, Jay saying that about me, and then also resistance. And I reported him how many times in that room? So did other people. People were like, why'd you guys still? I'm like, I have to report it. I just have to report it. I don't know. It just seems like it's an obvious pattern. So it's not an algorithm thing. It definitely has to be someone coming in on an Anon and then reporting it, which is, it's disappointing. It really, really is. I don't know. I mean, anyone can be a total.
I can play the recordings. I can play the recordings of him, of what he was saying about you and your dead husband, which I know I reported him for that even, and so, there is people obviously reporting him, and he did say a lot of nasty things to about several women, and he then even. Of all people, I mean, Adams was a notorious shit talker on here. But yeah, they're not getting clipped. But this is the weird thing: is I'm getting clipped for things I did not do. It's usually the reasons given are spam or doxing, and it's like, no, I'm not doing either of those fucking things on this app. I don't go into chat saying, you want a chance to earn $1,600 this month? Go ahead. I don't do that. Like, it's fucking stupid.
Well, and also,
and so somebody's pulling strings, obviously, and that, this is bullshit.
Yeah, and also the clip that I played, and I actually have all the clips. There are clips that people have sent to me when the room was actually still on replays. So when Jay went against terms of service and spoke poorly about my deceased husband, and 15 other lies or whatever about me, whatever. Those were all actually then later streamed onto Instagram Live and then on YouTube. So it's like, we're not recording the rooms, we're actually, downloading and saving the replays and listening to them, and also getting from the rooms when they actually replays were on, but also from exterior resources platforms. And that's a problem that I think everybody has kind of shared in regards to John is privacy, and you're not supposed to do that, but then, he's content farming too with 15 iPhones onto YouTube. So 57, sorry. I get lost. My abacus is dusty today. I've been gardening most of the day. So this is where we're getting the audio clips from. So not only is this...
Thank you, John Kitover.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, not only is this a problem on this app, now it's carried over onto other social audio platforms. So it's kind of like, all right, then my voice is heard where? Without my permission, right? It's used in what context? But yet, who's unstable? I don't know. You play what you want, Pepe. This is your room, but I think there's a lot of concern for everyone to have, regardless if you like Pepe or you don't like Pepe, if you like me or you don't like me. I honestly don't give a rat's ass. My tribe is very small, and I'll be a ride or die for them and only them. But you should be concerned. You piss off the wrong person, someone cries to someone else, and without even you having any type of opportunity to explain or share or any of that, your voice will be muffled, right? And then you can't even stand up for yourself and share the fact, like, the lies that being spread about me. It's just crazy. Like, I doxed this lady that was my friend. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's where it is going to be. But you know what? That's what they want. They want to minimize the truth. They'll talk over you, they'll deflect, they'll move the goalposts, they'll do everything and anything because they're scared of the actual truth. But guess what? Truth always comes out. Actually, I know that's just Adams, but like shit, there's other instances too. That I've experienced on Clubhouse that people try to lie on me, and I did not attack. I didn't do anything. I said the truth will come out. I'm not going to play this game. I got dragged for months, still lied upon to this day, and people had to apologize to me. I accepted their apology, and I kept my name out of their mouth and went on my merry way. But suddenly they got to start talking about, me again and say I need to, I should expect to be popped in the mouth. Like, why would a woman say about another woman, you should expect to be popped in the mouth to talk the way you do? The fuck?
I just want to say that Adam's a scared little bitch, and he's too cowardice to come on.
Well, I don't think he's scared. I'm just disappointed. He just kind of betrayed some very long-time friends, and it's, well, I do feel like that, and I feel like, sadly, he's lied to a lot of people as well, not just me. Lied to people that he now is trying to, I think he's trying to cover his ass, and people don't realize that he's lied to them.
It is wild, KK, that he's acting like the liberals that he hates. And trying to fucking cancel culture everybody. He's not even a man enough to come up on the second stage and defend his name because he's a little bitch.
Well, I mean, listen, my last conversation with him is I was very upset, and I was upset, and I said, Adams, either you're lying or JV's lying. So produce this audio that you said that you have of Pepe clearly doxing, Roger. Then you won't be lying. Then JV won't be lying. But where is it? And I was like, it's one or the other. I don't like being put in this situation. And I lost the last time, and I never heard from him since then.
Roger,
like that, literally.
Yeah, hey,
Roger's a bitch. I call him out in front of everybody here. Anybody who knows Rogers, if he's up for a debate against me on anything.
I like
Zionism,
Roger. I've known him
whatever.
since Clubhouse season 1. I like Roger, so I'm not
I think he'll debate you on Muhammad being a pedophile.
Guys, I don't want to do, guys, I don't want to do, stop, Rich, Mikhail, stop. Rich, don't do that fucking shit in my room, bro. Like, you're just, like, literally shitting on the fucking stage when and to start trouble with other people when we're not talking about this shit.
Go ahead, based on what you guys said.
Stop! Let Howard
I'm sorry,
go.
Howard, I couldn't hear you, sir.
No problem. Hey, just based on your feedback, I'm a big believer. Karma's a bitch. It's going to ultimately, people have to be accountable for their actions, and things catch up to people at the end of the day. I really believe that.
Thank you.
I don't.
Consequential.
I didn't want that for anyone, honestly, but I gave him the opportunity to talk to me about it and try to make it right, and then it just kind of spun out of control, which basically, if you don't come back to me when I clearly said either you're lying to me or JB's making this all up, one or the other, and there's an audio, then it's not the right thing to do. It's just, and this is what's so bothersome to me is the Adams that I knew used to be more of the type of a man that would be like, that's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do, right? Like, listen, I did a faux pas the professor, I kind of leaned heavily into defending Adams and I apologized to her, and I told her I was wrong for defending Adams when I did, but she brought up something about his deceased mom, and I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. But then to understand maybe those were half truths. I didn't want to have that on my conscience, so as soon as I saw her in Clubhouse again, I apologized to her. It's kind of the right thing, but that's how Adams, that one that I grew into have a long time friendship is that's the man that, I liked. And that's why I'm just like, I don't understand why he's just not doing the right thing and saying the truth, and I honestly, I've avoided speaking on this is because it's my long-term friend, and I'm just sad. I'm just sad, and people say like, well, you weren't really my friend. I didn't like you anyways. Do you know that? I'm like, okay, all right.
You're conceiving that I was right, KK.
Okay, Pepe, what about the clip that you have that you were saying that you were gonna play?
I did play it, sir.
No, Pepe said he had his own clip.
Oh, yeah, Pepe has his own, and he, John Kitover, as much as we don't like him being in our rooms, he's streamed all these rooms onto the internet and onto Instagram Live, and then also YouTube, and people have got the clips and passed them on to me and Pepe and others. So
yeah, he's really a jewel. He's a jewel in Clubhouse. I even saw he has Roger being racist on a few of them. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's Pepe's room. He can play whatever he wants. It's Pepe's room. He can play whatever he wants to play, but...
Hold on, I'm going through clips real quick. But yeah, I have some.
Well, I think while you're looking for that, and Pepe's played this clip before that was on John Kitover's YouTube, and it was actually on the room on replays from the 19th, like for a while, and it was, but then it disappeared magically. Oh, I wonder why. Where Pepe goes in on to JB's stage, and him and the lovely Nye asked Pepe questions, specific questions, and both JB and the lovely Nye said, well, we have, couple of people and trusted sources and proof and audio that you did this, and Pepe answered every question, and they thought they were going to catch him on something, and they caught him on words where I've got nothing else, I'm going to close the room. So if you got nothing else, there was no more smoke, and you didn't have anything else, and there was no disdain, Pepe, you da-da-da-da-da-da-da, then why would you continue? Especially since there is an audio file from that room of you admitting that Roger told you to let it go. Roger told me to let it go, and I didn't let it go because whatever. So why didn't you let it go when Roger said to let it go? That doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, I think that's the most telling audio is Pepe just being like, yeah, I shared his picture, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. They're like, did you do this? Like, no. And they're obviously there's dead silence between the people on stage, and they're like, well, they didn't have proof to say that that's what was happening, so they just kind of had to let him go, right? But then it's kind of continued, and now it's snowballed into this campaign. And people are like, well, why are you I'm like, because it's the hypocrisy. Pepe gets clipped. How many times Adams admits it, and Adams admits that he goes to Joe Armenia, and he admits that he got Pepe clipped. But here I am. I've had JB in resistance just in this past 2 weeks speak poorly about my deceased husband. Okay, and then they don't get clipped. Why is that? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It only screams favoritism, which is not fair.
And then if they're going to do it to Pepe, then what? I won't be surprised if my account gets clipped next just because I'm irritating them. You know, it's
You
like,
you ain't a part of the club, honey. It's a special club.
well, I mean, I'm sorry. I thought we were all allowed to, you know, speak and talk and have proof and whatnot. It's hypocritical. It's just very much hypocritical. And if they do it to Pepe, they're going to do it to everyone and anyone. And the major point is, Pepe, as bombastic as he can be, and I don't agree with everything that he has said in the past. I don't agree with some of his comments. I don't agree on a lot of things. But he hasn't been clipped up to this date. 4 years, and now he's all of a sudden getting clipped right and left, and then Adams is admitting it, and then people are like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, stay friends with Adams. Well, you better worry, because if you say something that or do something that, you know, he doesn't like, then maybe he'll get you clipped next. You know, I'm surprised that he would do this. That's why I've been kind of quiet about this with in regards to him. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of, it just really makes me sad. But Pepe, you can play whatever you want to play.
Still kind of looking through them.
I mean, you know, it's confusing because what the said story of who's done what, who has not done what, and how we have proof, don't have proof of what Pepe did has changed so many times. You know, there's an audio clip of Adam saying that Anne sent Jay Monica's personal info, and that's why Jay, when he was talking about doxing, the dangers of doxing, like, he actually doxed Monica on stage. I don't care for Monica, but shit, that's kind of odd. You're having a room about doxing, and then you dox someone, so how did Jay get that information? Adams clearly says on an audio, Anne sent Jay Monica's information. So what are we supposed to believe here? Like, I didn't want to believe it until it was sent to me. I was like, no. And yep, it was clearly his voice. Darn John Kitover and YouTube and Instagram Live. People get those clips and they're all coming back to haunt the people. And Howard, you're right, karma.
I mean, KK, the things he said about me, you know, like the lie accusations that I offered him sexual stuff, you know, like, and when someone says, look, dude, you're not funny. You know, I told him multiple times, you're literally straight up harassing me. We've never had any kind of relationship. I have never been in your back channel. Like, you're not even my type. And then he was like, I mean, you guys saw it. He was like harassing me.
Sarah, he does that to me and everybody else. It's like, Rich is in my back channel, try to get it and spread my
No, Rich, this was way more than that.
Like, that's what I was saying.
Rich,
Just make up random shit.
It was a lot.
Rich,
It was a lot.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, Sarah, he
what
just
he
lied.
did to me was straight up sexual harassment. Okay, this is online sexual harassment, bullying. Simple. So, and I asked him many times to stop. You know, but what I'm trying to say is, like, the dude has no conscience. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, Rich, I can only say what he shared with me. He said, we need to get rid of Rich. He is harassing me and stalking me. And he's saying all these disparaging things. And I'm like, well, what? And he's like, he said that I was like in some sort of tranny room, you know, or gay room.
I did say that, yeah.
Well, I mean, and that you said that, you know, he made a comment about someone's profile picture. I don't care what type of room you're in, each their own. Like, I go into different rooms. Doesn't mean like I'm clearly that type of person that are speaking. I'm just listening because I'm curious and want to, you know, learn and experience different spaces. But you know, that's what his grievance was with you. And I was like, well,
The thing is,
I didn't know you. And I was like, I've never seen that. What are you talking about? And then, you know, there was a screenshot that I saw, which exactly what he said actually happened. And maybe that's the reason why he's attacking you or wants to get rid of you. About saying someone's profile picture was really hot or something in a tranny room or something like that.
He said it or I said it?
No, you said it.
Nope.
You had a screenshot and you shared it in a room, and it was written out in that capacity.
Nope.
Well, someone was.
So I have like clips. I have clips of some of the room, like when he was saying the insulting stuff of, you know, about your husband, and you know, about mine. But as far as the and saying shit about me, but fuck, it was mostly those replays all got deleted when he was removed as admin, you know, on Clubhouse. But I remember him saying like, oh well, you know, I have a feeling his accounts are not going to be lasting long, you know, in the future. I don't know. He must have been onto something that I wasn't into, but I don't know. I mean, the only real proof I have a very strong suspicion. There's obviously somebody's pulling a string with the right person, and you know that's how my accounts are getting clipped. Because like, you guys have seen like this is on this whole room is recorded. I've not doxed anybody. I've not used a slur. I've not done any of that stuff. And I haven't been like the last few days. And sure enough, like I it's probably gonna happen like clockwork tomorrow. I'll have, you know, an account clipped. It'll say spam or doxing, and you know this is obviously harassment at this point. Like Adams, you know, if he is the one doing it, like we don't even really talk much about him, but it is kind of like, yeah, you're being brought up because you're the one taking credit for like getting me clipped, and it's like clear I'm getting clipped for no reason, and it's just like, yeah, you're gonna be on people's mind. It's just silly, but I know he's said that he like his goal is to like basically he just wants me and I guess other people off the app completely, and so that's I guess why he's doing it.
Isn't that what he said about me, Pepe? He wanted me off the app. I have the recording of him. He first wanted me to stop being friends with you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
If you remember in Telegram, I sent that, and then there is a recording of him. He wanted me off the app, and to be honest, when he was harassing me, I did talk to attorneys. You know, I work with attorneys. I do personal injury, car accidents, so I know a lot of attorneys. I talked to attorneys, and they told me that, you know, I'm not going to go into details, but they told me the best thing for me is to just not go on the app, you know, especially that he was really causing me a lot of mental stress. Like I understand, Rich, he was in your back channel and saying you were in his back channel and all that stuff, but he was causing me pain and suffering. There are people in this room right now who've heard me tell him many times in private spaces, I said, Adams, please stop. You're causing me stress. Like, can we just not talk? And he would keep talking about my private part and how I offered to. Who's putting laugh emojis? Are you that kind of a sicko person who you think this is funny? This is really funny to whoever is putting laugh emojis.
It's probably from an Ananon. Just keep going. Don't worry about that.
And then you know, talking about my private part and how I offered him, like, you know, sexual stuff, and like he was keep doing it. He did it on Clubhouse. He did it on private, you know, group chats in Telegram. Like he was just keep doing it, but he wanted the same thing. He just wanted me to go away, and that was what the attorney told me was the best. They're like, you know what, just get off the app at least for now. You know, because you remember, you want to sue someone, they have to have something so you can actually, first of all, like recover the costs of your lawsuit. You know, so it's like,
Well,
do I
Adam,
really want to do that?
well, Adam said he went to New York to file a lawsuit. And I'm like, wait, what? I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't ask a lot of questions. This is when I was still trying to like sort this out with him before things got really disturbing. I was like just trying to get things settled just with him. But he totally said he was going to New York for a lawsuit to go see a lawyer. And I'm like, why New York?
Who lives in New York?
I don't know. I didn't understand it. I just listened. That's all. I mean, you know, I didn't understand, and when I don't understand, it's better just to listen. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
JB lives in New York.
I know, but why would he wanting to go see a lawyer in New York for JB when JB's his friend, his buddy? I don't know. I used to.
Yeah, that is weird,
friends.
KK.
Yeah.
And most of these attorney firms, most of these law firms right now, they have, you know, they're in multiple states. Majority of the law firms, they either partner with other law firms. Like, you don't really need to go out of state.
Yeah.
To file a lawsuit against someone. Like,
that is true.
I work with attorneys.
Yeah, like they have multi-state attorneys. To your point, like they have offices all over the U.S. No, I agree. I thought you got clipped for a second, Pepe, when I saw you leave.
I know.
Was like, oh, no.
And most of, a lot of, actually not most, a lot of personal injury attorneys, you know, that work for California, they're not even inside California because the cost of operating outside of state is cheaper.
You know, if I got clipped while I was in this room, that would actually be like a good thing, because then it can show you that, like, I was not saying anything or doing anything against the rules, and that I'm just like basically being harassed and accused of shit I'm not doing, and then getting clipped. So, I mean, because this is the one room I've been in since I've had this account.
No, and Pepe, you stopped us too. Like, you stopped people in this room from saying certain things to try to potentially dox someone. So, yeah, you've not done anything wrong.
I know, but that's not what a collective side is trying to do, Nick. Is they're definitely now, when they're running out of lies, when it didn't stick that Pepe doxed Roger, and when people got the truth, it was a picture that he shared, right? Like, then they evolved it into something else that would hopefully stick as well. Then it was something else and something else. Oh my God, Mike 1, Mike 2, he cracks me up, I'm telling you. Don't ever fuck with the Crip. That's just all I'm gonna say. Or have one that's a friend. Oh gosh, Mike. God bless you. But yeah, Nick, it's definitely confusing. It doesn't make sense. Like, what has he said in here that would be problematic? Right? I mean, it's not even just like, well, shit. Do you all remember this Clubhouse season 1, people? Or no, this happened in Clubhouse season 2. Sarah Fox and Alex New York were going around saying the exact same thing. Like, KK's lying about having a dead husband. That her husband was killed in war. Like, they're lying about it. They asked me for receipts. It's receipts. So you're talking about who's on?
Did he ever provide receipts of me offering him sexual things? Because he was keep saying he's gonna bring the receipts once his account is back.
Well, I don't know how many accounts he has. I know he has a couple, whatever. No, but the thing, like, Sarah, that's the reason why I apologized to you the other day, is because I believed him. I didn't think my friend would lie to me. But then after conversations with him, he kind of like moved the goalpost. I caught him in a couple of small lies. Every time I asked him a direct question, he would deflect. All the things that, like, he would never engage with me in that capacity in all the time that I've been friends with him. So that's why I'm like, what is going on? Like, what are you trying to hide?
why is the story changing? I didn't
Yeah,
understand it.
and I want to. Sorry, I want to. I want to tell
patient.
Rich. I want to tell Rich because I just remember this. You know, again, I've told you guys I'm not upset because he's your friend. You know, he was you guys' friend, and you guys trusted him.
Oh.
And Rich, something that had a very difficult emotional toll on me when he was doing this was that a lot of women who were around him were telling me, well, we're not saying you're lying, but we don't know any other woman that he's done this with. So they were basically indirectly, you know, implying that we believe him, you know. So it's like this was absolutely 100% sexual harassment, online bullying, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. And I have so many hours of screen recording. You know that I just begged him over and over to stop.
Can we hear one? I just need I need to hear this for my own clarity and to see what kind of man this is. Can we hear one?
But Sarah, wasn't it all in that Telegram group? Because I mean, there was.
No, but he did this on Clubhouse too.
Oh,
there were a lot of. Yeah, he did it in Clubhouse and then he did it in Telegram too. Yes. Yes, he did it in Clubhouse. In every room, he was talking about me, saying different things, how my coochie smells, how he said a lot of things about me, you know, and it's
Sarah,
interesting because
I thought you weren't a doctor either.
oh, he said that I actually doxed myself. I send my information, my name to a couple of people in the people that are around him so they can look me up. Like, I literally doxed myself because this is how much this dude was putting a mental strain on me, saying that, oh, she can't be a doctor or a professor because she's online. First of all, okay, I'm not. Who cares if I am or not, right? Who really cares? You know, but I was online because I had I had a health issue. I had lost vision in my right eye, and I had said that in many rooms, including Rogers, right? So I was out of work completely. I was on medical leave for 3-4 months, and then the last couple months of it, I was online. You know, I was on Clubhouse. But either way, like, I don't have to like explain myself. Like, the fact that I had to like send people my names, you know, because I'm just sick and tired of this person like accusing me of all these things. And I mean, those things really doesn't matter to me. Who cares? I'm a doctor or not. I'm a professor or not. Who cares? It's not like you're like I don't know how to say it, you know, but when you're like accusing someone that they offered to like have sexual things with you and they were begging you and they wanted you, that's sexual harassment. Like, if any woman who's dealt with this can understand what I'm talking about, you know. It's like it's really, really not okay though, you know, especially when someone says, look, I need you to stop. Like, let's just not talk. I won't talk to you. You don't talk to me. And he was keep going. But you saw part of it on the, what is it called? Telegram.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, if it is true, if he is using Joe Armenia, this is the guy. He's telling us that he's having us get clipped, and you know he posted just like, you know, a couple of screenshots of him, you know, saying that and referring to Joe Armenia, not some very nice language, and you know. I mean, clearly you can tell he's doing this out of, like, spite and vengeance. He's not doing this to, you know, out of concern or because he feels like, oh, he's... I don't know. He feels like somebody's, you know, violating somebody in some kind of way. He's just doing this to be, you know, a jerk. But, yeah, I don't know. But, you know, I felt like I was just going to make a room today and just, like, air this out. It's really bizarre. Something is being abused. either people are finding a way to abuse the system so that my accounts get clipped, or there's somebody that can pull a string and get it and make it happen. So I don't know. I definitely think it's bullshit.
What's up?
But it's just also odd. Like Adams, of all people, like I was never mean to him, or you know, I always made him a moderator on my stages. I don't know why. Don't know why he's doing this.
But he said the other day, like, he never liked you. You guys were never friends.
Why was he always friendly with me, and why did he?
I don't know.
Was he just sucking up to me so he could be a moderator when I do my rooms?
I mean, I don't
get it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not gonna
he's
speak.
he's definitely the type to play the game. Depending on any room he's in, you know, that's like there's down low gay black men. That's how they do it.
Oh,
They're just trying to climb a ladder.
I don't think that's not important to this conversation.
They're always trying to climb the ladder.
I just didn't think like he was a man of character that would actually throw friends underneath the bus or lie on them, or you know.
Did you hear how he speaks on stage?
Deceitful.
Did you hear how he talks on stage? You think that's a man of character?
Yes, I'm saying my friendship with him. You know, we've shared a lot of conversations and very supportive of each other. So I think that's why this is sad and it's hard for me to talk about when it comes to him, because I just really want him to be truthful.
Yeah. I'm surprised. You know, when I opened this room, I was like, what are the chances like Clubhouse would just shut it down? Didn't happen. That's surprising. But the replays are on. Yeah, and you know, there's so many people here as witnesses. So like, I mean, you can't say I was doxing. You can't say I was spamming or doing any of the stuff that I get clipped for.
Well, I mean, you know what's also was just like the whole gatekeeping of how dare you go to another space, then you're not welcome in my space, right? Like,
But
we were
JB's
down in the
notorious for
audience.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that's what you're dealing with. I don't think I've ever heard you say anything like that. Like, oh, if you go over there, you can't come back over here. How dare you? I'm watching you. I'm keeping notes. All that shit. Like, look at Lou's PTR picture. And Lou is kind of quiet. He just kind of keeps to himself, talks a lot in UFC, MMA rooms, and that's about it. You know, I've known Lou since like Clubhouse season 2, I believe, and Lou just kind of kept quiet, didn't say much, and then called him out on it, and now he's on, you know, his shit list, like, can't come back, you're not welcome, and the whole, like, oh, we're gonna mass blocking. We're blocking, like, that's what someone else told me, like, yeah, we're blocking everyone, and reporting everyone, and blocking. I'm like, oh, God, but yet you're women of class, okay.
Yo, Pepe, I got a question. When you try to sign in, what does it exactly say? Because mine just says you suspended for violation of terms and conditions. Did you actually say doxing it?
Did you just get clipped again?
Huh?
This is another new account, right?
Oh, no, I was just proving a point that I have altered.
Oh,
Okay, so I was gonna say that it depends. So if you're like in a room and let's say you're all of a sudden you're kicked out of the room, you'll see like a red bar. That red bar will say community guidelines. However, you click on the information, you know, the little notification bell, and then it will give you a reason there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mine when I try to get my verification code, it just says you're suspended.
Oh yeah, if you try to get, you have to be on the app and the notification bell.
No, what were you saying, KK, about something about a screenshot or something? Hey.
Oh, I was talking about Lou and the audience, his screenshot.
Oh, no,
It's a
Pepe and trannies.
conversation. Oh, yeah. No, not Pepe and trannies. Oh, Lord Jesus. Rich, I swear to God.
I meant Adams, sorry. I meant Adams. No, the whole thing about me dragging Adams was that he would go into his alt account, and then I would see his profile in a room, and I would go in there, and like there would be like 30 people on stage, and they're all transgender and shit.
Yes.
Like screaming gay guys and shit like that, like trannies. So I would just drag him about that. I'm like, Adams, why are you in like tranny
Well,
rooms?
it doesn't matter. Like, who cares? Like, whatever.
Yeah, why
you know?
do you guys say
It's
these
not a-
kind of things? Like, Ludwig in the chat, he keeps calling me a transy, but who cares? Like, and then when I say, so
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, guys, I don't want to bring like this stupid drama.
I'm just saying, I don't like your profile picture either. So.
All right, shut up, Rich. God damn, dude. This
Yeah,
isn't a
seriously,
troll.
Rich, shut
This
the-
isn't a space for you to fucking troll, dude. Like, you're really starting to get on my nerves.
We'll sigh.
It's intentional.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I think you're talking about Bibi. Yeah, Bibi was the Israeli guy.
All right, yeah, we don't care.
He was the one that was talking about you fucking tranny.
All right, dude. Why do you do this?
Bring it up.
We just shut the fuck up. Like, I don't
Nobody's
care. We're not talking about. Yeah, but we're not doing this stupid drama on this stage.
You've literally been doing that for an hour now.
No, yeah, we're not talking about like stupid fucking chat. You know, chat. Going back and forth with the chat and all of this stuff, dude. It's just, it's way too much. I'm trying to look for a clip. There was like a clip where he was bullying the stage.
Oh, what he said to Elle. She was just in the audience. Like, it's not funny, but it's funny that he's not self-aware of what he says, and it was to a woman. I don't know.
This is his MO. He did this when he when he first got into healthy debates, and you know he had a large Jewish audience. He started like saying basically, because I ended up outing him, and then he like was telling the people in that back then, like, I don't want to see you go into his rooms or talk to him. But here's him like bullying his fucking audience. This is hilarious. It's on 2-speed. Hold on. You fucking retarded. See, oh, this is the funny part. Is you know how he was trying to be a hero regarding you know, like, oh, he's saying, oh, you dox Roger's kids, you ended up doing, which I didn't do anything. I didn't even say his fucking name. He admits he self snitches on this piece because somebody we talked to on this app talked to Roger on the phone, and Roger was kind of, you know, he heard these rumors. He's like, did Pepe dox me? And then he's like, no, I don't think so. He's like, oh, okay. And he was kind of like chuckling. And so, and he said, and he was basically saying he didn't sound like he really cared. But here's JB acknowledging what Roger told him.
You don't want to be smart. Let's don't push Roger X. We say no bro, sleep low. He goes, something special's gonna come up. I promise. Roger, I trust you. Whatever you want, man, I'll stand down. But tonight, nah, that's some next level shit. And let me tell you this. I'm being serious. Calm, but speak. You guys take information from people that use the N-word, disparage people's children.
Name somebody. I don't even know who your children are, dipshit. Whose children did I disparage? There he goes with his fake bullshit.
They don't care about that. That's no big deal. Because in their defense, they're gonna say, which I'm just a troll. I'm just a troll, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. I'm just a troll, these women.
Oh, here's another thing he said about me. Quite interesting.
He doesn't know what you're doing. Bree doesn't know what you're doing. Howard doesn't know what he heard. Get your ears clean. I didn't say this or that. I told you people
Where's the proof? Where's the proof? John Kitover recorded that whole fucking room. Where's the proof?
Shame on him, because you don't like Rod. His excuse was, I don't like that he fat shames people. I didn't say he doxed his family.
I doxed his family. He's such a lying piece of shit. Where's the proof?
I have a one-on-one conversation with him. What was his other excuse? I don't like that he's associated with John Kitover. What's that your fucking business? All of a sudden, you're the fucking world place? This is the guy you guys want to, this is the world place you want to follow? He would kill some of you people in a heartbeat just for being black.
You okay?
Did you dox his family?
No.
Then why would he say
his
that?
fucking family.
Why would he make such a
That's what I'm
terrible-
saying. We told him that never happened, and then John Kitover, I believe, was in that room when NY and him were questioning me. He was like, "Yeah, dude, no, I had his picture," and like, yeah, there's people who like know his, I guess are connected with them on LinkedIn. Then there's the people who know about it, know him from like season 1, and yeah, like I've heard information about him, but I never even said his fucking name, let alone his family. I know he's referenced that. I believe he's referenced that he has kids. That's all I know. Like I don't know any of his family's name. Like what the fuck? His family is irrelevant. Why? Like what does that have to do with any?
Well, they lied just
drama
to
we
make
have?
you look bad. Then that's terrible.
Obviously, that's why
Someone needs to be clipped as them for slandering your name. If you didn't do that, that's terrible.
The professor, hold on just a second. Pepe, I just sent you a clip where someone asked him, well, how did Pepe get Roger's information? And JB said that Rich and Pepe, you got to listen here carefully, Rich. Like he says this about you. Like, where's this coming from? Rich and Pepe went into John Kitover's campaign information, and that's how they got his information. And then as soon as JB says that, Adam stops him and deflects and da-da-da-da-da. Then another lady, I'm not allowed to say her name, starts saying something else, and Adam stops her as well. So you should hear this one, Rich, so you know what they've been saying. You've been gone for a little bit, so you were clipped. Do you see that one, Pepe? It says JB deflect Adams, Rich and Pepe. It's the last one I just sent you.
Okay.
Personal in your DM.
All right, I'll play it.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it's Dope Breeders.
Okay, I'm playing it.
He doesn't know it's Dope Breeders. Howard doesn't know what he heard. Get your ears clean. I didn't say this or that.
That's what I just played.
Hold on a sec. No, it's the last one that I just sent you in your DM.
Yeah, 5:35 p.m. It says at the end, JB says Pepe would kill black people.
No. This is another one. It might be going through. Hold on, I'll try to send it again right now.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, some more just went through.
Yeah. That's the one that he tries to explain how you got the information, which is wild. But Adams interrupts it, which is weird.
This is funny. Okay, this is the harebrained scheme he had for how supposedly I doxed Roger. Roger came on here with his real fucking name and his real picture in season 1. The season 1 people all know his real fucking name, the ones that were around him. I ended up hearing about him from season 1 people. Him and another well-known person on this app ended up doing a video podcast on YouTube. That is how, and they were told about it, and that's how, like a couple years ago, somebody told me about the fucking video. Like, this is so stupid. There's nothing sophisticated about it. But here's the clip.
I think that's pretty obvious. But I'm curious, how did Pepe get that information to leak it? Obviously, it's wrong, but did Mojo know him personally? Because I
like, where does he come up with this shit? That I'm somehow working with Rich, which means I have to work with John Kitover, the guy who films everybody on the fucking app. That somehow I worked with them, and that the people who gave donations, I'm guessing maybe Roger gave a donation, and because that happened, I was able to get his name through them, through his campaign. Like, what?
But look,
like, where does this stupid shit come from? Rich
Well,
wasn't involved.
yeah, but look who stopped him.
Adams.
It was Adams. And then when that lady started talking, guess who also interrupted and said, we need to talk about this, the three of us offline. That's quite telling, right? So if it was the truth, then why would you stop them? And then why would you say, like, it could get messy, we need to talk offline if it was the truth? So which is it? First it was like, we have an audio file of it. Then it's Rich and Pepe, that's how they got the information. And then it's Chillism. And then it's like a couple other people. It's like, well, which is it? I feel like it's the selective change of story to cover up someone's ass.
I have been orchestrating global events.
Oh my God, I swear to God, Jesus. It's you lucky it's Sunday.
So I got another clip. Let's see what he said. Why is it not showing all the fucking messages right now? It's so fucking weird.
I carried around a 1 gallon Ziploc bag full of batteries.
So your voice messages, they're not showing up on my fucking thing.
And telling?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I do have this one clip you sent me with Adams admitting he's the one who got me clipped. Amazing. I mean, so obviously he's, I guess he's insinuating, as he always has, that he has this in with that guy Joe Armenia, and he can get us clipped. Amazing.
Hey, do y'all ever play the game where you figure out who's been on Clubhouse the longest?
I just sent you another one, Pepe.
All right, here's this next one. Let's see what he has to say.
Should not be tolerated. 100% that should not be tolerated. But I didn't know that was the case. I thought he got clipped for something he said in the room that had nothing to do with doxing. Oh, he got clipped because he was going on a tirade for the last 5 days about me, my family, my background, everything. You name it, Yoshi. He
Went on a tirade about his family. I've only said one thing, and it's that like I said, he used to claim to be Italian. Okay, you gave away like your you gave away willingly your name and your backstory as Ketchikon, and as JB, you still do this on this app. The only thing I've mentioned is like why do you claim to be Italian but you don't have an Italian last name? Okay. Let's see what else.
Well, started, he tried to. But all he really was doing, Yoshi, was regurgitating the same shit that everybody else has said over the last 5 years, and that I even spoke about. But he's just...
Oh my God, that even he spoke about. Oh my God. Oh my God. In other words, that's the opposite of doxing, because we're talking about it on this fucking app. Amazing.
Those polarizing things that people come to this room because they want to hit a car crash. Damn it, it don't matter that, he's talking about my family.
Okay, name one fucking relative that, like, $1,000, again, to find the fucking clip of me even mentioning one of your fucking family members. Just one. Where I even said their fucking names, any of their fucking names.
Well,
because it did not happen.
Exactly.
So he's going with the false narrative, and like he always does. He knows I've never talked about, but he knows people are gonna be like, oh, he talked about kids, he talked about families, and it doxed them. Oh my god. Okay, dude, prove it. He can't prove it because I've never fucking done it.
Life, you know? Okay. Alright, yeah, I don't think it should get personal, with that on this app to that extent. You know, keep it on the information. You know, if you're assaulting somebody in a room based off of something they said to you or said about a topic, that's one thing. But when you take that beyond this digital realm,
All right, then here's JB talking about, you know, and it is against the terms of service, and I know I reported him for this, and so did a lot of other people. But here he's talking about the widow of a man that was killed in combat. Here's what he had to say about her.
let me just say this. If we took a real vote, I think the majority of that Pepe system low life piece of shit. Always has been, always will be. Right? But then you got this parasite, right? KK men who loves to guess like, oh, I'm showed up. Right? Another person trying to make themselves relevant, who's the most irrelevant person on this app. Goes around telling people she's a gold star wife, unless it was killed in action. Right? Full life SG, I think you're full of shit, lady. Bullshit. Bring me seats. Bring me seats out. Who the fuck you are behind, besides hiding behind your fucking PTR and your fake names? The time of the trolls is coming to an end, people. I can promise you that. So I'm not saying fucking around no more. See how fast that piece of shit got clicked tonight? But you want to say, oh, he did this in 2009. He did this in 2010. Meanwhile, she got almost every date wrong. She couldn't say Bear Stearns, she said Bear Stearns. You know, I understand, you know, English is not your first language, you dummy. But why don't you just mind your fucking business and let the men fight it out? How about that? You fucking gaslighting troll. How to get a yeast infection in your mouth.
It's so
At
funny
the end
that
of the
he
day,
said,
Mon, he had this to say about Mon, you know, who I've always done rooms with.
See, no, don't lose your shit. See, no, do not lose your shit. Fair warnings.
Let me give you some clarity. I haven't mentioned Pepe's name in probably almost a week. I know that. But let me finish. Right? I never talk about Mon. Mon's irrelevant. She's an embarrassment to herself. Right? 75 fucking years old. She wants to talk shit. And KK, I haven't mentioned KK's name in years. As a matter of fact, Adams, I specifically reached out to KK's best friend.
Amazing. And I know he said like other things. He said that like Mon is like self-hating black, and yeah, I have that one.
Well, let me say something. Come, thank you for that. You know who's just as bad as Pepe? Mon and shit. She signs off on this racism. She enables him because she's a black woman that's a self-hate black woman. So it's okay that she sits there with that known racist on the app, anti-Semite, hater. But Mon will sit there and keep you with him all fucking day. That dumb bitch. I'm sick of you on dogs, me, bro. You know what the funny thing is, Nine?
Yeah, it's really that's funny. I mean, who are you to say like who a self-hating black is? You fucking retard. Especially as somebody who's self-hating what your real ethnicity is, so you would tell people you were Italian. I mean, come on. Really? Sounds like yes, NPD is exactly what it is. This guy is like fucking, and that is not, once again, doxing. That is me giving my personal opinion. He ticks like every fucking trait for NPD. It is bizarre, like that. It would come through like on a social audio app. Usually, you know, people can kind of shield. How do you put it? I guess, you know, mask their symptoms. You know, but this dude cannot do it.
Anything is so like, I think, you know, I know a lot of people like to undermine each other and give each other diagnoses, and everybody else has like to self-diagnose each other. But I think there are people that are chronically have chronic issues, right? That are walking around throughout the day, haven't been diagnosed, and have no treatment. And NPD is something that you have to actually treat. You have to make them self-aware and realize that like they cannot just be walking around with this disorder and interfacing reality. They can't. They can't interact with people. And unfortunately, I think people are so sick that they don't even realize their own identity. So he needs to go get evaluated himself. He has to.
Well, he says he's volunteered the information on an app that he goes to like therapy twice a week. I mean, and his name is Ketchikon, and so that's another app name that is still here. That he goes by. He admits it even on this account that he has that like he was a con man and he did go to prison, for it. This is something like I just played in the recording. He admits it, and he does have, you can let him talk about it. I wouldn't say he would give you the most accurate picture of what he was accused of, but
I know
this is my opinion. But and then there were a lot of rooms made about him. So like the biggest content creators or people who ran rooms, a few years ago, they would absolutely. He got called out so many times, and you can just look up like Catch a Con, and in the search history for rooms and like Ion, Million Man Marathon, they've all done it. And these people, I can't verify the authenticity, of course, but a lot of accusations were made against him that it's pretty bad.
No, he needs to get off this app and really focus on himself and on his disorder. He absolutely has a disorder, and people that have severe disorders like that should not be on an app like this. It's all fun and games in the beginning, but when it's chronic and you can't, you keep repeating the same behavior, you can't control yourself, then you have an underlying issue. Get off the app. Continue with life. Participate with seeking help, and that's it. That's all you can do. I wish him well. I want him to get the best help possible and have a better life.
I mean, this is you see, like KK used to be friends with them. I used to, be cool with them. But when I used to do my rooms in White America, he would come in and he was upfront that he got in trouble and all of that stuff. I think he does this because he knows that the information will get around the app. And so he kind of just tries to get it out of the way, which is, I'm not going to fault him for that. But he was always polite, I would say charming in a way. And of course he would be like, hey, I'm going to make a room. Do you think you guys would show up? And, I'd be like, yeah, okay, we'll show up. Because, at that time I would draw an audience into his room. Long story short, a couple years later, so October 7th happens, then there's healthy debates. And I don't know how, but somebody made him a moderator in there, and then he was then allowed to host rooms, and he was at that time, a huge chunk of not that it's kind of relevant, a large chunk of the people in healthy debates were Jewish. And, this is where a lot of them went because of, after October 7th, obviously, that this was something that was really on their mind. And when I saw him moderate, I saw him be, really, a big bully. And what I also found really bizarre is that it's almost like he wanted to make his, control, he wanted everybody to feel the control that he had. So he would, I don't know what it was. It's something like he had to feel like he was in control, and he had a very annoying moderation style where he would, first of all, I would say he love bombs everybody. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're like my sister from another mister. All of his usual bullshit. And then the bullying part, there was one guy kind of timid sounding, and he made it sounded like JB was done talking, And then, so this guy speaks up, and he's like, "Whoa, did I sound like I was finished here?" And I stuck up for the guy, and was like, "Dude, yeah, I did." And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna check me in my space, Pepe?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you're being rude." And he's like, "Oh yeah, but you're in my space now. Why don't you go make one of your rooms?" And you know, it's like, because he was getting, a lot of people were in there. Healthy Debates was a place that didn't matter who opened it, whether it was Bryn, whether it was Roger, people would go in there because it was just like a hangout that everybody was familiar with. And I ended up I ended up going to, basically to some of the members of the Jewish community. I was like, "Dude, do you even know who this guy is? Do you know what do you want to know what he's known for on this fucking app before he weaseled his way in over here?" And yeah, go ahead. You there?
Who?
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm here.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something.
Oh, no, I was coughing. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, that's how I got into it with him, and he does he just does way too much, and it was, to me, it was very indicative of, I said NPD, and if I had to guess, probably antisocial personality disorder, but, those are two disorders.
Projection number 5.
Well, they say people with ASPD generally will have, many of the traits of NPD. I don't know, I'm not a psychologist.
Yeah, we should armchair that because that was done to both of us. But you know what I find is odd? Hold on a second, Seymour, please. You know what it's odd, and it's just my observation and my opinion. It's like he has these issues on that he feels like he needs to be in control, in particular of women, and it's odd. Like, you're attacking Mon because of why. You're attacking me because I read off a court case that your name was in, and it was from a .gov website based on the news that you shared and led with on this app. And then, he even said in a room, like, "Pepe, I think you have the audio of it. It's just like, if KK wants to know the size of this dick, then, she can DM him." Like, what is he talking about? Like, this is the exact same man who got caught DMing all these other women when he was associated with Millionaire Marathon and got busted for it. So he just has this, again, my opinion, based on how he has interacted with me and said things about me. Pepe, I think you have that link as well. Like, why do you obsessed with that? But go ahead. It screams.
It's a rap piece of shit.
Yeah, it screams basically who he is. Go ahead.
I've always had. Never changed it. Unlike the fucking narrative that KK was trying to spin, it's been like, forever. You fucking dummies. A KK that's sweet, innocent little Korean woman will say, "Oh, these changes been counting one of the Bears and Stearns. It's Bear Stearns, you fucking dummy. Bear Stearns. Do your fucking research. Want to research me someone? Hey, check this out, KK. Do you want to know how big my dick is? Just hit me up. I'll let you know.
Amazing.
Like, that's weird.
There's so many rooms of him, doing this shit.
So, that's what I have to say. Everyone wants to come up, people are welcome to. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't want this piece of shit in my chat. Bye, I'll start a new piece of shit.
Against another woman.
Yeah, I just want to be with you guys and have your coolness rub off on me. I don't really have a strong opinion about Pepe, honestly. I've always been kind of neutral to Pepe land. But how can you be neutral when he doxes people? He puts out their personal information, their family's information.
See, once again, he forces you to take a side, and once again, I never doxed anybody, you fucking retard. See, this is how he has to play victim and play has the moral high ground by lying and saying somebody did something bad.
Yeah.
But then he does not take no for an answer. It's like you must agree with him.
He plays wounded
You don't have to give an opinion. You can say you're neutral. I'm gonna go cap on that sweet. I don't know if it's me, but there's some of that you're breaking up on me a little. Yeah, I don't know.
don't even know he has a fucking family business. Like, he's so full of shit. And no, I didn't say one fucking place he ever worked. Like, he's so full of shit. And once again, this family bullshit never doxed his family. See, like, he's like he lied. I don't know how somebody is this comfortable lying. And one of the reasons why it's like he can get me up on stage and I can answer questions comfortably is because I'm literally telling the truth. I can give you the fucking information. And I don't know. I don't have to try to remember something, or like try to pivot because I fucked up telling my lie. Like, all I have to do is just repeat what actually fucking happened.
You just put up a picture. So, by the way, this Roger wanted his picture up here. He would have put his picture up. He didn't want it, but he got it. Right? But he did other things. See? Don't drink that Kool-Aid.
I don't picking up pieces. I haven't been on all day, so I'm just picking up the pieces here. So okay.
It didn't happen today. It's been going on. It's been going on for 5 to 6 days now. So not just today.
Oh shit, okay, I missed this whole thing. So did he put it up on Clubhouse? Did he put it up on like Telegram or something? Like,
He definitely broadcasted in Clubhouse rooms. That I know.
that's fucked up.
Yep, none of it happened.
Regular, tender, and buff.
He doesn't tolerate anybody being neutral. So what he does is he has to like convince you that I did something I did not do, and that you must agree with them, and that how dare you? You're so immoral if you don't agree with them. Here's a guy. Like here's another guy who just kind of seems like he's like I don't know. I don't really have the. He's being objective, and watch how he treats him.
Tender, and both of your guys' spaces. I've been listening. Thanks for the hard work. I did that. Just been listening to the drama. I'm sure you guys. No one likes the drama. I think the doxing definitely we can all agree that's like the big shine that never happened on this app. I think you guys both made some good points about each other that we should stay objective, you know. Wait, time out. What good points did you make about me? Basically just describing. Okay, let's not be emotional, like I said. Shut the fuck up and answer my question or get out. Okay, you're gonna talk like a minute, or you're gonna. I'm talking how I want to. It's my fucking room. What's if I want you to talk to me like a man, let's do it. Alright, goodbye, asshole. There's my man with probably shut up. He said nothing positive. He said nothing positive, you fucking idiot. Not a fucking word. Go to the fucking ear doctor, get your ears cleaned out. He doxed me. He doxed my friend. What the fuck? The fuck are you talking about, you moron? Oh my god, there's no objectivity here because there's nothing to be objective about. He doxed us, you idiot. What do you want to say? You said that was so good. Please tell me. And then that this asshole Anthony Edwards also likes to dox me. Amazing. To use that asshole's word, amazing.
Amazing. Yep. No, you definitely did get doxed. Definitely. See how he just would not allow a question, and you know he wouldn't go on a neutral stage. Like that's the funny thing is Sig on this app said, "Hey, why don't we like go on stage and quash this?" And dude, people know I do that. I used to drive off like going like people would try to call me out like the huge headliners like years ago, and I would like 800 people in their room, and I would do it because I thought it was like entertaining. But you know, I'm just different than him though. But yeah, he wouldn't do it. And I guess Sig's impression was that he was scared, and so makes sense. Because like once you have to get pushed back on your narrative, it will all fall to pieces. And so that's why he can't. He can only do response rooms where he doesn't allow any dissent. It's just pathetic. But yeah, these are the kind of people that this is the morally good guy. Funny. hopefully, I mean, I made a room long enough about the clipping that's going on. It's just totally being abused and it's obnoxious. And, there's some people that, I would just say this, there's people that have been on here for years, including myself. And, I mean, really, I would think you guys want to retain, like your users. And so, and at least when it comes out of users' mouths, they're claiming that, they have this in with an employee and they can get people clipped. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't look good. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the room now. But thank you, everybody, for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I had many rooms actually with Muslims on the app to explore the history and the culture and the Bible and the Quran together, the parallels. And they are still in my replays. I have hundreds of replays here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have 10 houses and hundreds of replays in these houses.
Wow.
Oh, wow. But would the discussions go like well?
Oh yeah, very well, about the parallels between the Quran and Hadith and the Talmud and the Torah, all these, the differences and the parallels and all these things. And also, I also had groups about the relation between Arabs, Muslims, Christians and Jews in the Middle Ages, 1600, 1700.